এই বাবু, তুমি শোনো, ওইদিকে তুমি আমাকে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করার জন্য ঘুরছো, তাই তো? ওসবের কিচ্ছু দরকার নেই, কারণ আমি তোমাকে খুব ফ্র্যাঙ্কলি বলি, আই হেট দিস থিং। তোমার না না, আমি তোমাকে বলি, যখন অর্গানাইজেশনের এই অবস্থা, তখন আমাকে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করার কি দরকার? আমি নিজে নিজেকে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করে দিই।
Good morning, everyone. We welcome everyone here in the audience today to the third day of our workshop. And as we had seen yesterday, Mrinal sir had talked about the transdisciplinary nature of education. Today, we are going to further that on the third day of the workshop. And our first session is going to be on the topic scales of measurement in research. And our speaker is none other than our professor from Aliah University himself, Professor Dr. Abul Kalam Muhammad Anwaruzzaman, Professor, Department of Geography. As sir has already asked us not to say much about him, he will introduce himself. Yet, there has been a fault from our end. We should have started earlier. Still, I would take the liberty and introduce sir. He can do it in his own words, yet I would say a few things about him. Professor Abul Kalam is a professor and head at the Department of Geography, Aliah University, and he is a distinguished teacher having teaching experience over 28 years. He has been previously associated with SK College, Jalpaiguri as an assistant professor. Not just that, he also has attended, presented papers in more than 25 conferences. He authored more than 38 journals, book chapters and books. He holds the prestige of receiving orders from JNU and UGC. Without much ado, we will be starting our session as we are already running late. So first, I would welcome sir on the stage and felicitate him. Sir, felicitate it too, sir, please. So our students from B.Ed will be felicitating sir. Everybody, please put a huge round of applause for sir. Again, I would like to repeat his topic, scales of measurement in research. Thank you, sir.
গুড মর্নিং এভরিওয়ান। আজকালকের দিনে একটা কথা চালু আছে, ইফ দেয়ার ইজ নান টু বিট ইউর ড্রাম, ইউ নিড টু বিট ইউর ওন ড্রাম। মানে নিজের একটু প্রচার করা ইত্যাদি আজকালকার যুগের একটা ট্রেন্ড। তো প্রবাবলি সেই জন্য আমি বলেছিলাম যে আমি নিজেকে নিজেই ইন্ট্রোডিউস করে দেবো। আই উইল নট টেক মাচ টাইম টু ইন্ট্রোডিউস মাইসেলফ। আমি শুধু এইটুকু বলতে চাই যে আমি কিন্তু তোমাদের থেকে খুব বেশি আলাদা কিছু নই, একদমই আলাদা কিছু নই। ইনফ্যাক্ট if you go to the early life of myself, you will find that probably my family life, the childhood in a condition that I spent might be much more, difficult, struggling, and sometimes I say that I am truly Ganga Putra এই জন্য যে গঙ্গার কোলেই আমি মানুষ হয়েছি, ছোটবেলাটা আমার গঙ্গার কোলেই কেটেছে, মাঠে ঘাটে খেলাধুলা করে ইত্যাদি। ভাই একটু সামনের দিকে আসবে প্লিজ, ফোল্ডেড হ্যান্ডে আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করেছি প্লিজ সামনের দিকে এসো, সামনের দিকটা খালি রেখে পেছন দিকটা ভালো লাগে না, প্লিজ কাম দিস সাইড। আমার আর্লি এডুকেশন মালদা জেলার একদম প্রত্যন্ত গ্রামে স্কুলে, তারপর আমি আলিগড় যাওয়ার সৌভাগ্য হয়, আমি গ্রাজুয়েশন করি ওখান থেকে, তারপরে জেএনইউ এ যাই, তারপরে সিপিটি বলে একটা ইনস্টিটিউট আছে, সেন্টার ফর এনভায়রনমেন্টাল প্ল্যানিং অ্যান্ড টেকনোলজি, আহমেদাবাদ। আই জয়েন দ্যাট ইনস্টিটিউট, I complete my education, formal education, and then I join IIM in a project. I worked for around 6 months. Then I got CSC selection, fortunately very good rank I got. I came back to West Bengal, but then I didn't like the college and the department. I went back to Delhi, I joined an NGO, I worked for 6 months. Then I again got appointment through CSC. Then I joined a college in Jalpaiguri. I worked for 1 year, then I applied to CSC, I got again selected, again fortunately got good rank. Then I got Malda College. I came to my hometown, not exactly hometown, my home district you can say. I joined that college, I started worked for many years. একদিন হঠাৎ করে কেন যেন স্বপ্ন জাগা বললো, যাই বলো না কেন, হঠাৎ করে মনে হলো যে প্রিন্সিপাল হলে কেমন হয়। সো আই অ্যাপ্লাইড 2014 প্রিন্সিপালের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করে দিলাম, এবং অনেকের হয়তো আমাদের স্টুডেন্টরা জানে, শুনে হয়তো ভালো লাগতে পারে, আই গট ফার্স্ট র্যাঙ্ক among 161 প্রিন্সিপাল সিলেক্টেড ইন ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল। তো আমি সেই দিক দিয়ে খুব লাকি আর কি, খুবই লাকি যে আমি যখন যেখানে গিয়েছি মোটামুটি ভালোই জায়গা করতে পেরেছি। তো এইটুকু আমার ইন্ট্রোডাকশন। আই এম নট এ ভেরি গুড রিসার্চার, আই এম নট অ্যাট অল এমিনেন্ট স্কলার, নট অ্যাট অল এমিনেন্ট টিচার, যেগুলো বলা হলো সেও সব বানানো কথা বলতে হয় বলে আমি একটু আগেই তোমাদের বললাম যে আমি তোমাদেরই একজন আর কি, এরকম ভাবে আমরা শুরু করি। তো দেখাতে আশা করি কোনো অসুবিধা নেই। The topic that I have chosen is related to scale of measurements in in research. এটা এখানে না হলে এটা কি করে হয়? Neither I can see that screen, not this screen. এটা তো problematic. No, এখানে এই করার হ্যাঁ এবারে ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ এবারে ঠিক আছে, না ঠিক আছে, আমি ধরেই রাখবো মোটামুটি। So in any type of research, I don't know what are the backgrounds you are having. Some geography students I can see, education students I can see, but then other people I really do not know the background. Maybe from different social sciences and like natural sciences are also there. But nearly all the disciplines, wherever you conduct research, you will be having some kind of measurement. Some kind of measurement is required. But when we talk about the measurement, most of the time, it is related to quantitative measurements. Qualitative measurements are also there, but more frequently it is used in quantitative terms. Why this measurement is required? Because it helps you to compare. Until and unless you measure, you cannot compare. Let's say I am a very bad teacher because of my quality of teaching. Somebody is very good teacher because of quality of his teaching. So until and unless you have some criteria to quantify and measure, you cannot say. So like these days, let's say how teachers are assessed, there is something called API, Academic Performance Index. So there is measurement, okay? You publish a paper in a journal, UGC enlisted journal, you get these many marks. You published a paper with, let's say, 5 impact factor, you get these many marks, okay? So that measure of a teacher, a researcher, some way or other you have to make that. Until and unless you measure, you cannot compare. So in research, comparison is very, very important. Suppose you will be talking about, let's say, what has been the trend of education in terms of quality, degradation or upgradation, whatever you say. How has been the quality of classroom, the teaching quality and all. So you have to make some kind of measurement. Okay. Four fundamental concepts I believe that one should know. I also believe that many of you know, in fact all of you might be knowing something called attribute, which will be like the characteristics. Then data. Data is very, very important, because until and unless you have data, you cannot make any sensible objective statement. Suppose we say that the Aliah University is the best university in West Bengal. So without data you cannot say. Nor you can say it is the worst university. None of the objective sensible statement you can make without data. So let's say we are having, again go back to the publication, let's say we are having some 150 teachers. In 1 year we make these many publications, so that number of publications become data. So data is very, very important to make sensible statement, to compare and to prove something. Without data you cannot prove. If you are not having data, if you are making a statement, that will be nonsense speaking, rascal like statement. And what you these days, there is a popular term WhatsApp university. So if you are educated in WhatsApp university, you do not go by data. You do not go by data. You go by your belief. So that become subjective. So if you have to make objective statement, you require data. And there is something called a variable, something which vary. It may be qualitative, it may be quantitative. So my height, your height, his height, it varies. My weight, your weight, it varies. The loudness of my voice, that varies. Skin color varies. The color of hair varies. Okay, many other things you can, temperature, rainfall, everything varies. Altitude varies. So that is a variable. What varies from one observation to other observation. Now this data, variable itself or data itself may not help you to speak very loudly, in the sense, loudly here means like very, very convincingly, until and unless you go to further step and you use something like indicator. Indicator is improvement upon the data and variable. Suppose, just take this way. Suppose I compare two districts. One is let's say East Midnapur district and let's say Purulia district, and I am making a statement, or for example, let's say, no, not East Midnapur, let's say I take Purulia district and Malda district. Malda district is a small district, Purulia is relatively larger district, and I am saying that the Purulia district is having some 5,000 registered doctors, whereas Malda is having 4,000 registered doctors, and you are saying that Purulia is better than Malda. No, it cannot be, because that is only data. That is only data. That cannot suffice, that cannot satisfactorily convince you that the Purulia health condition in terms of number of data doctor is better than Malda, because you never know the geographical area of Malda and you never know the population of area. So until and unless you compare this number of doctors with the population and you say something like this, that one doctor for every 5,000 people in, let's say, Bankura, one doctor, Malda, and one doctor for every 3,000 population for Purulia, then you can say Purulia is better than Malda, because though there are many other things in the background, there are many other things that probably we will not have that much time to discuss, but like as a introductory kind of thing, you can say that indicator is far better than data and variable. Data really do not, and I tell you, the politicians these days very cleverly, they will say you data only, not indicator. Suppose in 1 year I have introduced 30 trains in Eastern Railway, but you never go by like what is the carrying capacity of passenger. Maybe that you have introduced 30 trains, all trains are weekly trains, they carry only 5 lakh passengers, but there were, let's say, 20 trains earlier, they carried 10 lakh passengers. So until and unless you compare this way, your data would be very, very misleading. I tell you, sometimes the percentage figures we calculate, the ratio calculate, that also could be very, very misleading kind. For example, let's say, let us take a district of Arunachal Pradesh, and Arunachal Pradesh, for example, there are some 5 Santals families as per 2011 census, and 2021 census unfortunately we do not have, but if just imagine that there is a census. So 2011 census we had 5 families, and 2021 census we are having 10 families. So the growth is 100%. 100% growth. And these days in the charged environment, let's say one particular religious community is registering somewhere around 100% growth rate, becomes a topic of discussion. But you never know the other community, for example, let's say Hindu community, Hindu Brahmin community in the same district, the additional population might be 5 lakh, but then also percentage might be 20. So there is 20% growth of Brahmins, but 100% growth of Santals. But only 5 additional family have been added in the district. Okay, so this statistical data, I will go to the scale of measurement, is very, very you can say sensitive. There is a famous quotation: statistics is a sharp tool. If you are not using with caution, it will cut your fingers. So you can make use in your own way. So probably because of that, our researchers, our students need to be you should have proper knowledge and proper understanding. If you do not have proper understanding, if you go by that kind of catchy figure, then probably you also will be the student, very bright student of WhatsApp University. Okay. When you are going for measurement, I will go to the scale of measurement slowly and slowly I will go to that. So you should have these properties in measurement. You should have this property identity. So the identity should be there. Each measurement should have unique identity, and then some kind of magnitude should be there, which will be in ordered form. Then there should be there can be interval. Interval means the equal difference of value will mean same thing everywhere. For example, let's say there is 30 centimeter of rainfall and there is 35 centimeter of rainfall, the difference is 30. So in terms of temperature also, let's say 30 degree centigrade of temperature and 35 degree centigrade of temperature, that difference 5 should mean equal at every places. That is the meaning of equal interval. And the minimum value of 0. That minimum value of 0 may not be necessarily the true 0. I will come to that point. May not be necessarily true 0, but there should be a minimum value demarcated as 0. So these are the characteristics of measurement. Now we are actually supposed to speak the scale of measurement. I believe that at least 90% of you know that there are 4 scales of measurement: the nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale and ratio scale. I will be discussing these things, property and all. It is available in the literature, many of you know, but the point that I will be emphasizing on the latter part of my presentation, that the researcher, because of not having proper understanding of scale of measurement, what you do, you collect the data and the data quality becomes inferior. Okay. So the kind of analysis that you can do, you cannot, because of the way you have collected data, the scale of measurement that you have used. That is one thing. Second thing, probably my research, some of my research scholars were present. Few days back, Professor Gopa Samanto came to our department. I invited her, and she was speaking about this, the feminist, understanding of geography and all those things. In this context, she was speaking about the research also. And she said that unfortunately these days, many research outputs, means the research publications, are full of fictitious data. Data itself is not true, fictitious data. And I tell you, because of lack of understanding, sometimes you have to go to take resort to the fictitious data. If you have proper understanding, you need not to go. I will give you example and I will show you how can you improve the quality of data through adoption of appropriate measure of scale. Okay, and then when you are adopting appropriate measure of scale, not only the quality of data will go up, you will be having ample opportunity to go for many types of analysis, which will be reduced to only one or two if you are not appropriate, adopting appropriate measure of scale. Okay, this one you see, this is a page from a PhD thesis from not from India, from our neighboring country, from Bangladesh. I will request you please see this one, the the arrow is there. See this one, read it carefully and read it carefully. Okay, and this is the survey schedule, or what you call questionnaire. Okay, this is the questionnaire. So the researcher has collected data related to his PhD topic this way. Okay, I am not saying this is wrong or right, not I am saying, I am just asking you to closely observe it, and I will tell you definitely whether this is correct way or not and what could have been done. I will tell you. And this is the exactly thing, not having proper understanding of the scale of measurement, and because of that the data quality goes down and the scope of analysis also seriously goes down, and you compromise with your research quality. Okay, so this is like sort of cursory. If you are having three scales of measurement, so as you go from nominal to the ratio, you are having scope of better kind of analysis. More analysis will be there and better measurement will be there if you are adapting. If you have option, I am not saying at every place you will be having the option of going for ratio scale of measurement. I am not saying that, but I am saying wherever you are having option to go for, let's say, ordinal from nominal, or for interval from ordinal, or for ratio from interval, you should always go up, leaving nominal to ordinal to interval and to ratio. Ratio will give you maximum scope of analysis, variety of analysis, and because of that your research quality will be much better. Okay, this is in a tabular form. It is like the different scales of measurement is there, and what kind of operations you can do with that. So you can see the ratio scale, you are having maximum, yes, means all the operations can be done and all the calculations. This is not restricted to this one. I will go further and I will show you that what kind of analysis you can do. So if you have nominal scale, suppose, so you can go for only counting the frequency distribution table as per se, as you say. So you can do that, and because of that only central tendency that can be adapted is mode. Suppose something related to skin color, fair, black, dark black, something like hair color. So you will be in a position to calculate the maximum number of participants here who is having black hair color. Okay, you cannot go beyond that if you are collecting data in the nominal scale. And because of this nominal scale is also known as categorical. So you are just only categorizing, you cannot do more than that. Then you can go for the ordinal scale of measurement, where the ranking is there. Okay, ranking is there. So ranking gives you better understanding as compared to the earlier one, that is the nominal one. But the ranking is also having, or orderly, like descending to ascending, ascending to descending, that kind of thing you can do. But it has got its own limitation. Limitation means, suppose just think of a situation that 40 years back, Calcutta University Geography Department, Mr. X was the topper, got gold medal, but his score was only 49%. So first position holder got only 49%. Today the topper is getting 89% and first position holder. Okay, so that first position and this first position cannot be compared. That is the limitation. Okay. Second thing, today let's say in Aliah University Geography Department, first position holder scores 80%, second position holders score 79%. But other year, first position holder scores 80%, but second position holders score only 60% or 50%. So 80 getting first position, 79 getting second position, and 50 getting second position. Now, how will compare the second position and second position? Okay. So this ordinal scale of measurement is also not free from the problem. There are many problems with the ordinal scale of measurements also, but still it is better than the nominal one. Okay. So if you are having ordinal scale of measurement, then you can go for this, obviously counting is there, and then you can go for this calculation of mode and calculation of median, but yet you cannot go for calculation of mean. Average you cannot do, ranks cannot be averaged. Okay. And then naturally you cannot go for other kind of statistical operations. The moment you are going for interval scale of measurement, then you are having much better than the other two. Okay. Interval measurement, the example, let me give you one example, is very popular example you will be getting in textbook or the reference book. It is the temperature. Okay. Temperature is good example where you measure in terms of interval scale. Now interval scale is, you can see here that you have put many yes for the interval scale, but interval scale has got at least one serious problem, that in interval scale you don't have existence of true zero, and here true zero means absence of something. So absence of something is not there when you are going for interval scale. For example, let's say if I say that temperature is 0 degree, that doesn't mean that there is no temperature, and you can have negative temperature also. Varkhanovsk minus 49 degrees centigrade temperature, let's say, and other place, let's say Moscow minus 30 degree. So Moscow is warmer than Varkhanovsk. Okay, and let's say Srinagar 0 degree. So 0 degree Srinagar is still warmer than Mexico. So 0 does not mean the absence of something, but there are other cases where 0 will mean absence of something. For example, your income. 1 month you got 5,000 rupees, next month you don't have any income. Your father has not sent you pocket money. Your let's say fellowship has not been credited to your account. So it is 0. Okay. Growth can be 0, can be negative also. Today my income is 5,000, next day my income is becoming 6,000, I am having positive growth. Next day, let's say 5,000 I am getting, so 0 growth. And the next day, let's say I am getting 4,000, so it is negative growth. So growth rate can be positive, negative. Okay. But this temperature, when you are taking 0, doesn't mean that it is absence of something, but it is a condition. Okay. And that is the meaning, that you don't have absence of 0. 0 is not absolute 0. The moment you are coming to the ratio scale, then you can see all are filled with yes. All operations are there. What can be done with nominal, ordinal, interval, everything can be done with the help of ratio scale of measurement. But additionally, you are having many other things apart from central tendency, mean, median, mode, etc. But then you are having this, you can find out the exact difference, you can add it, you can subtract it, you can divide it, you can multiply it. Okay. Suppose when you are having, let's say, two stations, Srinagar and let's say Kolkata. Srinagar one day, let's say 1st January 8:30 AM is having temperature 5 degrees centigrade. Kolkata same date, same time is having 25 degrees centigrade. It doesn't mean that Kolkata is 5 times warmer than Srinagar. It doesn't mean, you cannot compare that way. But when it is measured in terms of ratio scale, my research scholar, let's say Mohsin, has scored suppose 30 out of 50, and some other student has scored, let's say, 50. So the student who has scored 50 has scored twice of Mohsin. Okay. So because this measurement is in terms of ratio scale, in ratio scale that can be done, other scales you cannot really do it. Okay. So we have seen till now that when you go from nominal to ordinal and interval to ratio, we are improving upon the measurement because of adopting better scale of measurement. Okay, let us we'll go one by one a little in little detail. So nominal scale, when you will be measuring, so as I told you, it is categorical only. So you will be categorized into different groups. Let's say male, female, white, black, and then blood group is one good example, etc., etc. So these are the examples of measurement in nominal scale, which will help you to categorize. I am repeating it, when you are categorizing, no other statistical operations is possible, only you can count it. When you are counting, that means you are frequency counting, you can calculate percentage based on that, how many are male, how much percentage are male, how much percentage are female. You can go for something like the bar you can construct in terms of graphical representation, that kind of thing can be done. Okay, now when nominal scale, measurement of nominal scale has got certain characteristics. As I told you that there is no order. No one can say male is better than female or female is better than male. No one can say black is better than white or white is black, because there is no order. Okay, it is only categorizing. Okay, the categories, this point I would emphasize. Acha, organizer, tumi ekhon organizer, tai to motamuti আমার টাইম হচ্ছে 11:50 probably 11:50, because I have to be conscious about my time also. Okay, so I hope that I will finish within my time. Okay, so about this categorization, the nominal scale of measurement, there is lot of confusions, and I tell you 99% of the institutions make this problem. If you see your own application form, UG, PG something, you will be finding what is your caste, or it is written your caste, then SC, oblique ST, oblique OBC, oblique something something. This is nonsense, 100% nonsense, I tell you, and I am telling you with 2000% confidence, that is basically nonsense. SC is not a caste, ST is not a caste, OBC is not a caste. So first problem is lying there. Second problem, I tell you, that when you have given general SC, ST, OBC, and then sometimes you will find minority also. Sometimes you will find this physically handicapped or physically challenged put together in one group. Now my question, as I told you, that categories have to be mutually exclusive. You should not create a situation where one particular observation may fall in this category or that category. It should have only one room, not more than one room, and there should not be any confusion. For example, let's say, if I classify the participants here into 3 gender group, male, female and transgender, is there any possibility that someone, Rakib, may be considered as male or may be considered as female? No. So it has to be mutually exclusive. Now that kind of, the example that I gave you, suppose Muslim, there is a candidate who is Muslim, can be minority, can be OBC. Okay, so in which category you will fall? Put that person. So groups are not mutually exclusive. And I tell you, in the statistical calculation, the frequency counting you do, there are problems related to the mutually exclusive groups, whether you are going for continuous group or discontinuous group, lot of problem. But my today's topic is not that, so I will not go into deep into that. But one has to be very, very conscious about the formation of mutually exclusive group. If you do not do, then what will happen? A particular observation, let's say in one day you will be counting in this group, the next day you will be counting on that group, and because of that your data itself is a problematic. Okay, and I was telling you, Gopadi's example, Gopadi said that many of our researchers are outputs are based on fictitious data, and this is one of the reasons why your data could be fictitious, because you have not categorized your data into mutually exclusive groups. Only number we can calculate, that means the frequency counting that I told you, say central tendency is only mode, nothing else can be done. Okay, come to the ordinal scale. So it is order, the ranking that are done. There are many examples already I have said, like the class first position, second position in the class. There is a contest, let's say runners are there. The first position holder finishes, let's say in 10 seconds. The second maybe 10.9 seconds. Very close, but still the rank is 1 and rank is 2. In other time, maybe the second rank holder might be much below 10 seconds, and it's not possible that all the time the first contestant will be finishing within 10 seconds only, maybe 9 seconds, 8 seconds, or maybe even more than that. So because of this, the ordinal data also is not comparable. Okay. Ordinal data has natural order. That means, as I told you, the first position holder, second position holder, and then the difference between these value has no meaning, as I told you. Suppose seventh position holder in a class and first position holder in a class, the difference is 6. So this 6 has no meaning, because as I told you, with 80% you get first position, and with 30% get 7th position, but in other exam, maybe the 7th position holder get very close to the first position holder, and because of this, the difference of these rank values has no meaning. Okay, you can go for obviously mean and median calculation. Okay, you come to the interval scale. As I told you that there is no absolute zero. A particular condition is denoted or demarcated as 0. Okay, particular condition is demarcated as 0, but it's not absolute 0. Means 0 doesn't mean that the phenomena does not exist, that particular thing does not exist. Temperature is good example. Time measurement, 0 hour, I am not talking about the parliament 0 hour. So 0 hour also means the according to your watch, it is 0 hour, doesn't mean that time does not exist. Time has started some millions and billions years back. So you are only designating a particular moment to be 0 hour. So here also the existence of absolute 0 is not there when you are going for this measurement of time. And I have consciously given these two question marks to these two measurements, because these are actually typically geography and many people might not be that much familiar with, and there could be little bit confusion also. And because of this Mohs scale of hardness, you have rocks and minerals and all. So how hard is this? Talc, the ladies particularly very familiar with talc. Talc is a mineral, okay, but it is very brittle, very soft. And let's say the quartz that you have, ভাতের দাঁতে যেটা পড়ে কাঁকর, সেটা বেসিক্যালি কোয়ার্টজ। Okay, basically that is a quartz. চালের রকমই রঙের হয়, and that is because of oxidation. Otherwise it is fresh, কিরকম বলবো, মানে চিনির মতো, চিনির থেকেও ট্রান্সপারেন্ট হলে যেমন হবে সেরকম তার রংটা। So now when we are this Mohs scale, it starts from 1 and it goes to 10. Now this 1 and 10, it is like the ordinal, it's not interval. Even 0, not relative 0 is also not existing here, okay, in Mohs scale. এখানে একটা দেখায় তাহলে মনে হয়, oh sorry, yeah, so talc is very soft, and then in the hardness scale you are having this diamond. Now no one can say that this 5th position apatite is half the hardness, having half the hardness of diamond. No, it cannot be said, because it is only ranking. Okay, it is only ranking to compare. Okay, so it could be this Mohs scale could be considered as the ordinal scale of measurement. Then come to the Richter scale. Now Richter scale, very interesting. when earthquake happens, so in Richter scale, if you are having 0, that doesn't mean that the earthquake is not taking place, shaking is not taking place. Only thing is that that the damage will not take place, but it has been detected in the seismography. The Richter is the seismograph, the instrument that can detect that tremor is happening, but still the value will be 0. Okay, this is the meaning that 0 does not mean non-existence of something if it is measured in interval scale. Okay, let's say you see this is the scale, the Richter scale. When you are having 0, then also there is the motion is there. Okay, so certain motion has been designated as 0. Here 0 doesn't mean that motion of object is not there, or the actually earthquake is not taking place, or the tremor is not happening. Okay, now come to the most what I said, that the best kind of measure, that is the ratio scale. There are a lot of examples of measurement where you can adapt measurement scale, and here there is existence of 0. 0 means the phenomena does not exist. I told you, suppose your income, suppose growth rate, suppose length, suppose duration. Okay, these could be having absolute 0. Suppose here I have given certain example: height, weight, length and depth. These are some of the examples, very popular one, which can be measured in terms of ratio scale. Obviously your income can be measured in terms of your ratio scale. Your weighting period related to altitude is very typical of geography, so I am not discussing it. Altitude is something, again what happens, I tell you, the mean sea level is considered to be 0. So again problem is 0 does not mean there is no height, there is no altitude. Mean sea level is designated at 0, and then you measure up and down. So if it is positive altitude, it is above the mean sea level, and negative, if it is below that, negative altitude is there. So forget about it. So these are some of the examples of ratio scale of measurement. When you are having ratio scale of measurement, as I have shown you earlier, that the other operations that you have done with the ordinal and nominal and interval, everything can be done. Counting can be done. All the central tendencies, mean, median, mode, all can be calculated. The deviations also can be calculated. And because it has the 0, absolute 0, existence of absolute 0, meaning that the phenomena does not exist. Let's say one point, a particular point, the distance of that point from that point is 0. So there is no distance. So that kind of thing is there. Now, now come to the main point that I was saying, that I will be emphasizing how the data quality can go up when you adopt this ratio scale of measurement. You can seriously compromise with your data quality when you leave behind ratio scale of measurement and adopt other measurements. And very sorry to say, many researchers, I have till now around 20 PhD theses I have evaluated. Most of the cases I found that there is a very, very serious problem. I don't know, because of supervisor, researcher, understanding problem, whatever bit, but I found this point to be problematic. I have shown you one page, I will show few other pages also, okay, taken from PhD thesis. Now let's say you have gone to, is there any economics student here with economics background? Okay, fine. So you are doing, madam, something related to earning, how earning has changed because of this globalization or something like that. So you will be measuring earning. So you have framed a questionnaire, survey schedule. You have put like this, you have formed groups. The family is below 5,000 income, 5,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 20,000 and 20 and above. Okay. You are approaching a household, and you are asking, how much is your family income per month? He is saying, let's say 6,000. So you are counting that family in this category. Is it clearly visible? Yeah. So you are counting here. Next family you are going and then the family is saying that it is 3,500. So it is counted in this group. Okay, very fine. Your researchers is also happy. You are also happy. You have conducted 100 household survey in 3-4 days. Let me tell you, this survey has very seriously compromised on the quality of data. With same time, same duration that you have spent in the field, if you add up ratio scale of measurements, lot of other things you can do. With this measurement, this type of data collection, you can merely do only this counting and frequency counting, nothing else you can do. Now, if you are having frequency counting, naturally you can go for the percentage calculation. So you are having 5 categories, each category you are having number of families. So you can say that 30% family belong to this category, 40% family belong to that category. You cannot do anything beyond that. Okay, probably if you think, if you are very clever researcher, you can go for chi-square test kind of thing, but that also will not help you much. Very popular analysis in economics, let's say, related to income is you will be calculating Gini coefficient. You will be going for construction of Lorentz curve. Can you do it with this data? No, you cannot. You have spent time seriously and honestly you have calculated data, but collected data, but you cannot go for Gini coefficient calculation because you have captured data, recorded data in a wrong way. What could have been done in ratio scale, the data, the very nature of data that you should have captured in ratio scale, but you have made it in fact ordinal. The moment you are having ordinal, you cannot go for the calculations, many statistical operations that you are supposed to do. In terms of length, let's say somebody from botany doing something related to the height of grasses, let's say vegetables, vegetations. So this is, let's say, 5 centimeter, 5 to 10 centimeter, something like that. So you collect the grass samples, measure the height and the length, and you put in this category. Again, same problem. Very limited kind of analysis you can do. Suppose in some economics or education people, geography people are doing something related to the workforce participation, something like that. So you are having this number of people below 15 years of age, and then working age group 15 to 60, and above age working age group means retired or you can superannuated people, elderly people. Okay. So again you can find out number of people and then percentage, but what you will do with that? I tell you, you cannot even find out the central tendencies that I told, mean, median, mode also. Mode absolutely you cannot do. Average, mean absolutely you cannot do. With none of these data, the examples that I have given here, you cannot calculate average, you cannot calculate mean. But when you are doing something related to earning, I believe that you will be very much curious to have the idea how much is the average income. But your data will not help you to calculate average. Then you will go to have some kind of fictitious data. You will be dishonest researcher. You had opportunity to have actual data. You have collected data also. You have go to the household. You have asked how much is your family income. Let's say the respondent has very nicely cooperated you, honestly has given you figure, but the way you have noted down, that has become problematic, and because of that you are not in a position to go for the kind of analysis that you could have done. Okay. Education people, you are doing something related to educational attainment. So you are capturing data, whether you are illiterate, whether you are primary, up to primary level, UG level, secondary level and all. Again problematic. You can count, you can say that out of the surveyed people, these many percentage, 30% are up to primary education, 20%, let's say, completed UG, but beyond that, you cannot do anything. Particularly geography people and economics people I will address. When you calculate HDI, Human Development Index, you will never find that the education data is related this way. Education data is captured in terms of number of year of schooling. So same educational attainment data which you have made actually the ordinal can be collected in ratio scale. The moment you collect in ratio scale, the doors to analyze all sort of statistical analysis you can do. So same survey, same data. It is the manner in which you are actually capturing and noting your data. Based on that, you will be having a hell lot of difference in quality of analysis. Now come back to this table that I have shown you. Now you tell me what was the problem. I believe that you have seen that time. Now you tell me what could have been done. Is it the ratio scale in which he has collected data? No. Can it be collected in ratio scale? Yes, it can be collected. So instead of capturing data this way, you just ask him how much distance you, how long has the Bhavadaha been experienced? Okay. So how many years you are witnessing water logging? Somebody is saying 13 years, somebody is saying 18 years, somebody is saying 35 years, whatever value they are, the number of years they are saying. You just note it down and that becomes ratio scale. And I will tell you in the further that how can you use that ratio scale data for a lot of the statistical operations, and certainly your data quality goes up and your research output improves. Okay, so the examples that I have marked here, all these were possible to capture data in ratio scale, but they have the researcher has wrongfully captured in this ordinal scale. Okay, from the PhD thesis you are having, I have marked while evaluating, I have marked the ratio scale should have been there, but you see none of these are captured in ratio scale. Now here again you see these data could have been captured in ratio scale, but the researcher has wrongfully captured in some other scale. Now again I have marked. So what is this? How far the water logging responsible for decrease of bush like habitat of birds? Okay, so in terms of percentage, so why are you capturing or noting down the response of the respondent, telling in this group of percentage or that group of percentage? Simply say, as per your observation, what has been the percentage of reduction, growth, whatever. So he is saying 13%. So record 13%. Somebody is saying 18%. Record 18%. Somebody is saying 47%. Record 47%. The moment you record data this way, it becomes ratio scale. And I will show you how can you analyze. This is from another. This Vidyasagar University should not have been displayed. This is another PhD thesis from other university. Okay. Now you see this distance captured in terms of again group, which could have been captured in terms of ratio scale. So wrongly researcher has done, because of some reason supervisor has not mentioned it, has not looked into it, and because of that data has been compromised, the quality of data has been compromised. And I am repeating it, the moment you compromise on the quality of data, you have to go for creating some fictitious data. You will be dishonest. Okay, you could have done very rightly with the same amount of time that you are spending in the field to collect data. You could have made your data much better than what you have done, and you need not to go for creating any kind of fictitious data. Okay, another example. Fine, similar type of example. Now come back again. Now you see this list is even little enlarged. Okay, so the counting, calculation of mode, median, mean, difference between the subtraction, addition, multiplication. In addition to that, you are having absolute zero when you are calculating, when you are capturing data or measuring in terms of ratio scale. So the number of years that you are having, that indicates that the quality of data captured in ratio scale gives you much more opportunity to have a lot of statistical calculation, and certainly this is also indicator of quality of data. Okay. Now, in a snapshot, when you are capturing data in nominal scale, you cannot even say that this is better than this one, not equal to. You cannot. Means, as I told you, the SC is not better than ST, Muslims are not better than Hindus, Christians are not better than Hindus are not better than Christians, and so on and so forth. Black people are not better than white, or white are not better than black. So that also cannot be done. Ordinal scale, okay, the ranks are there. So ranks can be compared in a sense that the first rank holder will get gold medal, but in 1 year the gold medalist will be having 90% score, but other year the gold medalist may have only 60% score. So in that sense, occupying first position, there is equality, but in terms of score there is no inequality, there is no equality. And I tell you, this is exactly the reason why for the first time in India, Jawaharlal Nehru University started this grading system. They don't believe in this gold medal and first position holder. Believe me, from my batch, nobody got a gold medal. JNU doesn't believe in this. And that is the reason they put grade, not percentage of marks. When you put percentage of marks, that 80% and 60%, anyone will say 80% is better than 60%. But when grade A and grade A, so in one batch with 80% you grade A, in another batch with 60% you get grade A. That was the logic behind. But unfortunately, what has happened in grading system, you know, in fact, the whole education system has been nearly systematically destroyed, I tell you. It is very painful to say as a teacher. Whole education system is being very systematically destroyed. And this NEP is the last nail on the coffin, I tell you. It's the last nail. You may agree or disagree, that is different. If you have disagreement, come to my department, we can have debate. But it is not for the good. As a teacher, some colleagues are here. When I joined this university in 2016, we had a syllabus where the number of classes in a week, whatever number of classes was there as per the norm. When it is CBCS system, we found that number of classes reduced. That means, suppose in our department 11 teaching posts are there. So as per the earlier system, we required 11 teachers. When CBCS is introduced, we found that 11 teachers are no more required. 8 is enough, 7 is enough. Now with NEP, no one is required, because our great politicians is promising you that you do not require Anwaruzzaman's lecture. You will be listening the lecture from Harvard University, Yale University, Boston University, Cambridge University. So living in a remote village in Murshidabad or Nadia, you will be listening to the world famed professors from Harvard. So you do not require Anwar's lecture, and because of that Anwar should not be employed. So whole thing is moving in that direction. Young generations, you will take little time to realize. By the time you realize, everything will go, everything will be finished, probably. I cannot say with that much confidence, but this is my understanding. Okay, anyway, so I have deviated little bit. Okay, so ordinal scale, when you are having ordinal scale, you can have this based on the order or based on the rank, you can say this is better than this one, that is better than this one, obviously you can say, but the ranks cannot be compared, as I told you, compared in the sense the first rank in one year and the first rank in other year may not have same score, same capability and same understanding. When you are going for this interval scale, the operations are increasing. As I told you, you can add, suppose I am having, for example, in Malda district, I am having 3 meteorological stations. 1st January, 8:30 morning, one station is recording temperature 25 degrees centigrade Celsius, another station recording 26, another station recording let's say 23. So I can add these and I can calculate average also. So average temperature of all those meteorological stations is this much. So that kind of operation is there. So the subtraction is there. If I say what is the difference of temperature on 1st January between Darjeeling and Srinagar, so you can find out the difference also. Okay, so you can see that number of mathematical operations are increasing when you are going from nominal to ordinal to interval scale, and then when you are going to ratio scale, a lot more operations are possible, including addition, subtraction, multiplication and even division. So for example, let's say I am having 3 research scholars from our department. For example, everybody's PG score, which can be measured in ratio scale, because you can have existence of true 0. If you do not get any marks, your score is 0. Okay, and here 0 means non-existence of score. So suppose from this side, let's say 70%, 65% and 70%. So you add these value and divide it by 3, you get the average. So this addition is there. If I am interested to see what is the difference between their score at PG level, you can very well find out. If I want to multiply their scores, that also is possible and that also makes sense. But other cases, those multiplications and all doesn't make any sense. That doesn't give you any message, sensible message. Okay, how much time is left here? Another 20 minutes. Very good. So I will be finishing within time. Okay. So I will open another not presentation, as I told you that I will show you something. This is the data collected by our students during field work. Okay. So I will show you the master table where they have put their data and how as I told you that, yeah, this is. So you go back to the slides that I have shown you. What is this? ভাই কেউ তো কিছু করো ভাই, আমি যেটা আসল জিনিসটা আমি দেখাতে না পারলে কি করে হবে? This is the, হ্যাঁ না এই তো ঠিক আছে, এখানে ওখানে কি ব্যাপার? না তা ওদেরকে ডাকতে তাড়াতাড়ি রাখো, আমার তো 20 মিনিট সময় এইভাবে চলে যাবে। আচ্ছা, meanwhile let the technical glitch be fixed. Meanwhile, if you have any question related to whatever I have discussed, any question if you have on the basis of discussion that I had, let us have that discussion and then I will go further. Yeah, please.
And the temperature in Mumbai, in some part of Mumbai, it is the same, but the humidity levels are going to vary.
So because of that you have 2 types of temperature. Please take your seat. 2 types of actual temperature and how much you feel. Okay, so that is a little different thing that I don't know really it comes under the scope of this discussion or not. But then depending on the situation, other factors, you may feel little more hot, though temperature might be low, depending on your even health condition. Suppose you are having a healthy health condition, so 20-degree temperature may not be much troubling to you, but when you are weak, let's say, there will be it will be troubling for you. But it is true that temperature, 20-degree temperature at Mumbai and 20-degree temperature at Kolkata or any place anywhere, it shows the same condition in terms of temperature. Okay, it is the same condition. But suppose Mumbai is having 10 degrees centigrade of temperature, Kolkata is 20 degree. You cannot say Kolkata is 2 times hotter than Mumbai. That cannot be said. That comparison is not possible. Yes, any other? If you have further any question, you can ask. Yeah, please.
If we take the data in ratio scale, then how we standardize our data?
I'll show you. That I wanted to show. Good question. When you capture data in ratio scale, there is scope to convert it into nominal scale. But once you capture data in nominal scale, it cannot be taken to ratio scale. Okay, that is the problem. So, capturing data, if it is possible, depending on the nature of the variable and data, if it is possible, capture the data in ratio scale. Then if it is required, you go back to nominal and ordinal. That is always possible. I will show you. I'll show you. কি হলো রে বাবা একটু জল পাওয়া যাবে you can ask any question, we can have discussion till it is fixed. Yes,
please use the mic.
Sorry once
So can you please define the difference between attribute and variable?
attribute and variable. Okay, there is really very thin difference between attribute and variable. Attribute is the term, mostly it is used in terms of qualitative, I mean quality, to define quality, as I told you, the hair color, skin color and all. Okay, it is the property of something, and that property, if it is related to quality, usually we say it is attribute. But I never said that the qualitative measurable things cannot be part of attribute. I never said. Even age can be also attributed as attribute. Okay, but mostly we go for this qualitative. Variable is something where it may be qualitative, it may be quantitative. So each observation, for observation, what vary is a variable. Maybe height, weight, skin color. So maybe qualitative, maybe quantitative. Distance, depth, weight, body weight, whatever. Yes, please.
Use the mic, please use the mic.
If that conversion, I will show you. We have to wait for other things. You can ask.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, there is a big confusion about.
Let me have
Okay,
water.
sir, please. চলছে হ্যালো হ্যালো
You can yeah, you can speak. You can speak, please.
Sir, there is a confusion between scale and what should I say? Nominal scale and categorical data means scale and data. If we take the data in Likert scale, there is saying that what type of data you have collected. So what I say?
Likert scale is ordinal.
Likert scale is ordinary.
Yes.
Okay. And there is one more term that there is a confusion that categorical data and categorical scale, that is nominal scale, and that is one more thing, that is categorical data. What is the difference between scale and data?
Yeah, please. Data is basically information, value, based on which, as I told you, you can make a sensible statement, you can compare. Okay. Now, data can be captured in any scale, as I told you. So if you are capturing in nominal scale, it will give you categorical data. Is confusion gone? Okay. কি রে ভাই, আমি তো এসব দেশে কোনোদিন যাইনি, এখন তোমাদের এতেই ও ও রিসার্চ মেথডোলজির ওয়ার্কশপে যদি এক্সেল শিট না দেখানো যায় তাহলে তো খুবই বাজে ব্যাপার। Meanwhile, if you have any other kind of question, the survey schedule that I have shown and related to that, anything, you might be facing that kind of problem. আচ্ছা, এইটা এক সেকেন্ড দেখি যদি এরকম ভাবে, এ বাবা আর এক জিনিস, এক সেকেন্ড আমি দেখি যে এক সেকেন্ড আমি দেখি, মানে অতটা সময় হবে না, সেই জন্য আমি একটু একটা জিনিস দেখে নিই। টি ব্রেক আছে? ও আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে। হ্যাঁ, সেট করো। কিন্তু টি কোথায়? না তো, না টি ব্রেক, ও এটা আমার পরে টি ব্রেক। আমারও তো একটু কাজ, আমি কি এতটাই বেকার মানুষ রে ভাই? আমারও তো একটু কাজ আছে নাকি? ঠিক আছে, ওটা ফিক্স করো। দিচ্ছি। কি হলো, এটা ক্লোজ করে নিই আমি। Many of you are from other institutes, please raise your hand. Only few. Anyway, still good that there are some students from other institutes. আমি করে নিচ্ছি। Yeah, so this is actually a master table of data collected by our students from the field, UG students. Okay, so I really convince them at the UG level only that you should capture data in ratio scale. And this is one example. Let's say the age. Yes? Oh, zoom korbo. আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে. But why are you sitting there? When the all front seats are, I mean, you create problem and then you seek the solution. Okay. Anyway. So is it visible? Okay. So this is one example. Let's say you have gone to a family. You have certain number of people in the family, and you are capturing data. So earlier, the example that PhD thesis I have shown you, there was something like this. Below 5 years, 5 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years, something like that. And then you make frequency count. That was one way of capturing data. I am saying that way of capturing data is wrong. Means like it will give you inferior quality of data. Instead of doing that, you capture data in ratio scale. This is ratio scale. Individuals, age is there, and with this data, you can go on playing lot of statistical operations possible. Suppose you have surveyed some 50 households and you have 250 individuals. You are interested to know how much is the average age. So make a command to the Excel sheet, let it be added, divided by 250, you get the average. Okay? And not only average, you go for highest value, lowest value, average, mode, median, anything. And then let's say with this data, what you have captured in ratio scale, you have another data set in the ratio scale. Okay? Suppose age and the duration of sleep, that also you capture in ratio scale. Okay? How many hours they sleep? And a good researcher, you want to correlate this. Does duration of sleep depend on age? So you can now compare, I mean, you can go for statistical, let's say regression, I mean the correlation, that kind of operation can be done easily. Okay? And here is the meaning that the scope of analysis of data goes on, improves when you are capturing data in ratio scale. Okay? So this data which I gave you example that it can be captured in ratio scale and it can be captured in other scales also that I have given you example. This will give you much better scope to I mean go for statistical operation. Since let me this is number of year of schooling. Okay? This note actually last evening I put this note. Ratio, this is one example of capturing data, educational data in ratio scale. Instead of going for primary, secondary, UG, PG, that type, you ask how many years you have spent in education. And in this case, you have, apart from this quality of data, there is another advantage. Suppose a student after completion of higher secondary got admission at UG level for BSc, BA something, and continued for 2 years and then dropped. So in your system of capturing data educational attainment, you will say higher secondary. But after higher secondary, he or she was under the education system for another 2 years. That will not be captured if you put this primary, secondary and UG, PG that way. Okay? So up to 12th class, 12 years of education, add these 2 years, so he or she got 12 years of education. And I am repeating, this HDI calculation, Human Development Index calculation, they do not go by educational attainment in terms of PG, UG and all. They always consider number of year of schooling. The consideration is that as the duration of yours in the education field improves or goes on, you get much more like empowerment and awareness and all, the emancipation will be better. And because of that, number of year of schooling is to be captured. Okay. Let me go to the, serial number, and then yeah, this is distance of subdivisional hospital from household. You compare the slide that I have shown, that was below 5 kilometer, 5 to 10 kilometer, 10 to 15 kilometer, that type, and I have instructed my student to capture data this way. Exact distance. Obviously, it is depending on the respondent's response. You are not going to measure. Always it is not possible to measure. You are having feedback from the respondent, but you are capturing data this way. So this is becoming now ratio scale. So suppose now just think this way: percentage of score of student and the distance from school. If all other things are constant, let's say all other things are constant, the score and distance from the school, you can go for the statistical analysis and try to find out what is the relationship. Maybe positive, negative, whatever, but that is not my concern. My concern is you can go for much more stronger statistical analysis when you are having this ratio scale of data. It opens up opportunity. Okay. Now that lady's question, if you have captured data in ratio scale, you have always opportunity to go back to the ordinal scale and nominal scale. There is no problem. Yeah. So this is one example. Let's say this is one situation. Is it visible? No. Let me zoom little bit. Yeah. So the distance case, this type of, when you are capturing data in this type of format, then there is no, oh sorry, you forget about this number of students because I have modified that. So is it possible to find out the average distance? Is it possible to find out maximum distance, minimum distance? No, nothing can be done. The data quality which could have been much better, you have basically killed your data when you capture this way. Neither you can calculate average, no maximum, no minimum, no SD, nothing can be done. Only frequency counting and then percentage. Okay. So what I am saying, the way I have shown you in the ratio scale, now if you require to get it in this format, there is no problem. Excel will help you to go for sorting. Apply sorting and you make this type of table. There is absolutely no problem. Okay. So ratio scale data can be converted into ordinal scale and nominal scale if it is required, and because of that, any data captured in ratio scale has got much more better utility. This is example that I gave you, that if you are capturing the data this way, it will have less utility, but if you are capturing number of year of schooling, it will have much more utility. Now one example, let's say this is one example, number of, again let me, though data is fictitious, it's not real data. This morning only I typed out this data. Okay, so this is number of year of schooling, suppose 3 year of schooling, 13 year of schooling and all, and this is, let's say, monthly salary. Okay, so you have gone to conduct a survey, so you have captured data in ratio scale of number of year of schooling related to education, and you have asked how much is the salary. Okay, so salary is also captured in ratio scale and the education is also captured in ratio scale. Now you can calculate regression, correlation, whatever you require, everything can be done. Whatever statistical operation is required, that can be done, and that is the meaning when I am saying that capturing data in ratio scale will opens ample opportunity for all sort of operations, statistical operation, and because of this, if it is possible, capturing data in ratio scale always gives you better quality data, superior quality of data. And when you are having ratio scale data, I have noted here, you can calculate average, you can calculate highest value, lowest value, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, correlation, regression, everything is possible. So my humble submission, same amount of time you are giving in the field, same amount of energy you are wasting, but because of some sort of lack of understanding, you are capturing data in a scale which has much lesser utility, much lesser scope of statistical operation. And because of that, say when you have captured data in the this group format that I have shown, now your research scholar is saying that what is the minimum distance one student has covered. Now you are bluffing, you are becoming dishonest, because you don't have that. Understood? But if you have this type of data, madam is asking what is the lowest distance, you find out. Make ascending descending order, find out. Okay, what is the average? Can you tell the average? No, you cannot calculate average, but you can calculate average with this. So probably I am coming to end of my presentation. I wanted to tell you whatever little bit I thought that I should be sharing with you. If you have liked, very good. If don't, I cannot help myself. But still question, I think few minutes are there. Any question you can ask. কমিনিট সময় আছে, আমি সময়ের মোটামুটি পাকা লোক, আর কি সময় যেটুকু আমাকে দেওয়া হয়েছে সেটুকু আমি। If you have any question, please, sir, madam, students, dear students, research scholars, anyone? কিছু কোয়েশ্চেন নেই? ঠিক আছে, ওকে। কি কি
টেস্ট অ্যানালাইসিসের জন্য যে টেস্টগুলো ইউজ করি, তো ওগুলো কি আমরা এই স্কেলের উপর ডিপেন্ড করে চুজ করার কোনো ব্যাপার আছে?
আছে তো, আমি যেমন বললাম যদি ক্যাটেগরিক্যাল ডেটা হয় তাহলে কাই স্কোয়ারের বাইরে তো খুব একটা যাওয়ার কিছু নেই, কিন্তু যখনই রেশিও স্কোয়ার ইউ ক্যান গো ফর দ্য টি টেস্ট, জেড টেস্ট, অলমোস্ট এভরিথিং ইজ ওপেন, এভরিথিং ইজ ওপেন।
রেশিওর ক্ষেত্রে তো সবগুলোই অ্যাপ্লাই করা যায়।
হ্যাঁ, ও আমার তো পুরো প্রেজেন্টেশনের এমফাসিসটা ওটাই ছিল যে যত তুমি নমিনাল থেকে রেশিওর দিকে যাবে তোমার স্কোপটা বেড়ে যাবে, ডেটা উইল বি বেটার কোয়ালিটি, স্কোপ অফ অপারেশনস এন্ড অ্যানালিসিস উইল বি বেটার। ওটাই তো বলছিলাম। প্লিজ প্লিজ।
ফার্স্ট অফ অল থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ স্যার, মানে এতটা সুন্দরভাবে এত ডিটেলসে স্কেল মানে এত ভালোভাবে বুঝতে পারবো, মানে ভীষণ ভালো আপনি বোঝালেন, তার জন্য মানে থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। বলছি যে ধরুন আমার কোশ্চেনিয়ারে বা আমার ইয়েতে আমি যদি ফিল্ড ওয়ার্কের কাজ করছি, সেক্ষেত্রে ধরুন রেসপন্ডেন্টের কোনো এক্সপিরিয়েন্স আমি হয়তো জানতে চাইছি, যে সাপোজ তার কোনো অকুপেশনাল হ্যাজার্ডস এর উপরে, কিংবা মানে সে ধরুন যেমন সাপোজ একজন ফার্মার, সে হয়তো কাজ করছে, এবার মাঠে কাজ করার সময় তার কি কি ফিজিক্যাল প্রবলেম সে ফেস করছে, মানে তার হয়তো কোনো রকমের বডি পেন বা কোনো কিছু। এবার এইটা আমি ডেটাটা তার কাছ থেকে সে যা বললো আমি জাস্ট সেটা নোট ডাউন করে নিলাম। এবার এটাকে যখন আমি মানে স্কেলের মধ্যে আনবো, সেটাকে আমি কিভাবে কনভার্ট করতে পারি, যদি বলতে পারেন।
ওকে, কি ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড তোমার?
আমার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড নিউট্রিশন, ফুড এন্ড নিউট্রিশন। হ্যাঁ,
আমি ইউ প্লিজ টেক ইউর সিট। আমার একটা হাম্বল সাবমিশন, আমি প্রথমেই বলেছি আমাকে যদি এক্সপার্ট তোমরা মনে করো, আই এম নট। হ্যাঁ, আমি প্রথমেই বলে নিয়েছি, আমি বলেছি আমি তোমাদেরই লোক। হ্যাঁ, বিষয়টা হচ্ছে যে বিভিন্ন ডিসিপ্লিনে বিভিন্ন সাবজেক্টে তো রিকোয়ারমেন্ট বিভিন্ন রকম হয়। তুমি যে এক্সাম্পলটা বললে যে কি কি ধরনের সমস্যা ফেস করে, এবার সমস্যা ফেস করে ওটা তো অবভিয়াসলি তোমাকে ওখানে নমিনাল স্কেলে তোমাকে ওখানে করতে হবে, ক্যাপচার করতে হবে। এবার এইটাকে একটা স্কেল থেকে অন্য স্কেলে যে নিয়ে যাওয়া যায় না তা তো নয়, তা তো যাই। যেমন ধরো নমিনাল স্কেলে আমরা ডেটা ক্যাপচার করে তারপরে সেখান থেকে ওই যে কাউন্টেড ফিগার, সেই ফিগার গুলোকে তো রেশিওর মতো করে ট্রিট করা যায়। কি ম্যাডাম ঠিক বলছি তো ম্যাডাম? যে আমরা ওই কাউন্টিং করার পর ওই কাউন্টেড ফিগার গুলোকে রেশিওর মতো করে কিন্তু ট্রিট করা যায়। সেই জন্য ফিল্ডে যখন তুমি ডেটাটা ক্যাপচার করছো, obviously it has to be the example that you put forward, obviously it has to be in nominal scale, তারপরে সেটা নিয়ে ভাবতে হবে কি কাজে তুমি লাগাবে, তার উপর নির্ভর করে অন্যত্র যদি যাওয়া যায়। হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু এক্ষুনি তোমাকে রেডিমেড খুব স্যাটিসফ্যাক্টরি উত্তর দিতে পারবো তা হয়তো পারবো না। হ্যাঁ,
স্যার
ইয়া প্লিজ।
আপনি একটু আগে বললেন যে লিকার্ড স্কেল অর্ডিনাল স্কেলের মতো করে আমরা নিতে পারি। তো স্যার আমি মানে এডুকেশন ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে, তো আমার মানে আমি লিকার্ড স্কেল যেমন 5 পয়েন্ট লিকার্ড স্কেল, তো আমি সেটাকে ইন্টারভাল স্কেলের মধ্যে দিয়ে ডেটা কালেক্ট করেছি। তো এটা কি রাইট আর রং, এটা জানার।
You have considered Likert scale to be interval scale.
Yes, 5 point Likert scale.
একটু বসো। আচ্ছা, কোন কন্ডিশনটাকে তুমি 1 দেবে? লিকার্ট স্কেলটাকে যদি আমরা ইন্টারভাল স্কেলের মতো করে ট্রিট করি, তাহলে কোন কন্ডিশনটাকে আমরা 1 দেব?
যেমন স্যার পজিটিভ আর নেগেটিভ স্টেটমেন্ট থাকে, তো সেক্ষেত্রে যেটা পজিটিভ স্টেটমেন্ট সেটা যখন স্ট্রংলি এগ্রি সেটাকে 5, তারপর 4 এইভাবে।
তাহলে মানে এই অর্ডারলি অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্টে যে তোমার অর্ডিনাল স্কেলের কথা বলছিলাম, তাতে অসুবিধা কোথায়?
তো বেসিক্যালি যেটা জানি, এটা মানে জাস্ট কোয়েরি, অর্ডিনাল স্কেলে তো
ইয়েস, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ বলো বলো।
এখানে তো সেভাবে র্যাঙ্ক, হ্যাঁ এটা
র্যাঙ্ক তো থাকেই অর্ডিনাল স্কেলে, তো র্যাঙ্কিংটাই অর্ডারলি অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্টটাই তো হচ্ছে আসল।
ওকে
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, আমি তোমাকে আবারও বলছি যে আমি একদম খুব এক্সপার্ট মনে করো না আমাকে। ঠিক আছে, তুমি তো এখানেই আছো, ফার্দার একটু ভাবা যেতে পারে, আর আরো তো এডুকেশনের লোকজনও আছে, ভাবা যেতে পারে। তুমি যে পয়েন্টটা বলেছো, মানে ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু সে দ্যাট দ্য লিকার্ট স্কেল ইজ পার্ট অফ ইন্টারভাল স্কেল। আই ডু কনসিডার ইট টু বি অর্ডিনাল। ঠিক আছে, এটা নিয়ে কথা হবে, তুমি আসো একদিন ডিপার্টমেন্টে কথা হবে, এবং দেখবো, আমিও দেখবো। আমি তোমাকে, আমি ভাই খুব সাদা সিটের মানুষ, আমি তোমাকে আগে বলেছি যে আমাকে খুব এক্সপার্ট মনে, আমি যেটুকু জানি সেটুকু তোমাকে বললাম। এটা নিয়ে তো আলোচনা হতেই পারে, ডিবেট ডিসকাশন ইজ অলওয়েজ এন্ড ডিসেন্ট, তো হতেই পারে। আমার আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং এ ভুল থাকতে পারে, এ নিয়ে আমার বিন্দু মাত্র কোনো এ নেই, থাকতেই পারে।
সেটা আমি বলছি না,
না না না,
জাস্ট আমার কোয়েরি।
ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে, ইয়েস আই উইল সি ইট and you come to my department someday, I will discuss.
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Yes, anything? মানে ওই যে একটা কথা তোমাকে বলছি আমি, ওই যে অ্যালটিটিউডের কথাটা বললাম না আমি, মানে ভেতরে তো অনেক গল্প আবার থাকে, মানে অ্যাপারেন্টলি যা দেখি আর ভেতরের গল্প অনেকটা থাকে। এবার আমি বললাম যে রেশিও স্কেলে তোমার অ্যাবসলিউট জিরোর একটা কনসেপ্ট আছে, মানে it should have absolute zero. That means the phenomena does not exist. যেমন ইনকামের কথা বললাম আমি, দূরত্বের কথা, কিন্তু তুমি অ্যালটিটিউডের ক্ষেত্রে কি এইভাবে তুমি অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারবে? কারণ এটা জিরো অ্যালটিটিউড মানে কি অ্যালটিটিউড ডাজ নট এক্সিস্ট, কিন্তু আমরা আবার রেশিও স্কেলে অ্যালটিটিউড নিই। কথা বুঝতে পেরেছো? আমরা যখন অ্যালটিটিউড নিয়ে হাইট নিয়ে কাজ করি, দ্যাট উই কনসিডার ইন রেশিও স্কেল, মেজার ইন রেশিও স্কেল। কিন্তু এই জিরো কিন্তু সেই জিরো নয় যেটা যে হ্যাঁ অ্যাবসলিউট জিরো, কিন্তু এটা নয়। তাহলে ওখানেও এক ধরনের কন্ডিশনকে আমি জিরো বলে ট্রিট করেছি, হোয়াট ইজ ট্রু ইন কেস অফ ইন্টারভাল স্কেল, বাট অ্যালটিটিউড ইজ নট কনসিডার্ড টু বি ইন্টারভাল স্কেল, ইট ইজ রেশিও স্কেল। এতে যেমন আমি রিক্টার স্কেলের ক্ষেত্রে বললাম জিরো আছে কিন্তু আবার জিরো নয়, জিরো স্টিল জিরো ইজ দেয়ার, বাট স্টিল দেয়ার ইজ আই মিন দ্য সিসমোগ্রাফ উইল মেজার ইট, সেই জন্য ওটাকে ইন্টারভাল বলে ধরা হচ্ছে। তো এই জন্য বলছে ভেতরে আরো কিছু স্টোরি আছে, তোমার বিষয়টা নিশ্চয়ই কিছু আছে, তোমার যখন প্রশ্ন এসছে আমি দেখবো, হ্যাঁ, এবং এটা নিয়ে কথা বলা যাবে। হ্যাঁ, ওকে। একটু আমাকে এটা কি মনে হয় ক্লোজ করেছিলাম না? হ্যাঁ, ক্লোজ করা আছে।
Thank you so Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time. I think it was very clear for us, measurement and the overview sir gave
Your
us
mic is
about.
not working.
Hello.
So as I was saying, thank you, sir, for your valuable time. I think our questions have been satiated about measurements, and sir gave us a very beautiful overview, mostly on the importance of ratio scale. So all of us, behalf on all of us, I would like to thank sir again. And again, humble apologies for the delay in the beginning, but we got a beautiful session. Now I would like to announce that there will be a very short tea break, and we will be resuming our session thereafter in 10 minutes. And we might say on popular demand, we have another session by Jamal sir. Last evening, it was extended to quite some time, and sir will be taking another session on SPSS. So after 10 minutes, we will be resuming the session. So please, everybody be present here. Thank you.
चलो भाई जमाल भाई
ask everyone to please put a round of applause for Jamal sir. Sir.
So, first of all, one or two class is not sufficient for SPSS, because SPSS has lot of applications. It is a numerous software having enormous application nowadays. So many applications you can do using SPSS. So, in spite of everything considering in our mind, we have got only 2 sessions, and 2 sessions is not sufficient for data analysis, because data analysis is hands-on learning. So I am trying to share my experience as maximum as possible within the short time. In the yesterday class, which we have discussed, I think have you any problem, then you can tell me, or I can call 1 or 2 people from your side to come on the dais, sit with me and do something from my system. Otherwise, my session will be like theory. I want hands-on experience, and it is possible, whether you are understanding or not understanding, how it is possible. So may I call 1 or 2 fellow who will do the things by your own hand. Then you can understand that this type of strategy or this type of technique will be applied for data analysis. So in the study class, I have covered many things. These things I have covered. Parametric versus non-parametric I have already covered. Non-test that we do not have much time, because through SPSS or any software, if I do it quickly, you will not be able to understand. Okay, so my responsibility is not to just show and go. Okay, I want to share my experience so that you can grasp the skill, you can acquire the skill, you can learn the skill. So I have to go slowly, otherwise you will not be able to understand the steps, and steps are important. So normality assumptions today we will do. These are the assumptions, and then this slide I have shown almost. Initially I have explained about the identification of data. The data which you have collected from the field, you have to identify or classify. My data belongs to which category, whether it is categorical data or it is a numeric data. If it is numeric data, we have to go for scatter plot, box plot, histogram, and so on. Okay. If your data is categorical, then you can only and only plot bar, pie, and multiple box. So keeping these concepts in your mind, you will analyze your data. Okay. So these things I have shown yesterday. If any participant have any doubt, then he or she can ask me or come on the dais. Welcome, no problem. We are all learner. I am also learner. Okay. So if any person have any doubt, just I am asking from you. Now, yesterday I have explained about how to enter the data. So I think these things are clear. Okay. Now you see here, if you suppose you want to convert these into value. Now the data totally converted into value. Data totally converted into value. Now if you want to so if any participant is interested, you can come and you can do the things which I have shown yesterday. Anyone is interested? If anyone is interested, then he or she can come. Anyone? Yes. Yes, so. এই যে ডেটা আছে না, this is data. You have to plot a bar diagram and a pie chart. Okay, you have to plot a bar diagram and pie chart. How will you plot? No. Graph जाओ. Graph legacy. Bar. Simple. Okay. Then এখান থেকে সেকেন্ডটা চুজ করো, এটাকে শিফট করে দাও এখানে, হ্যাঁ শিফট করে দাও, ওকে করে দাও। So bar diagram is plotted. Now you try to plot pie chart in the similar manner. Pie chart in the similar manner. Actually এটা একটা you shift another shift here. Okay, scroll. Thank you. Go. It means he was in confusion state. Now when he came to me and did the things by his own hand, he is now clear. Hanin is clear how to plot the bar diagram and how to plot the pie chart. In this way, actually this is hands-on learning. So a dedicated computer lab is required, so that each and every participant can do the things like Hanin. This is the thing actually. In any software, not only SPSS, in any software, you have to come in the dais or you have to sit in the computer and you have to handle the things. If another participant, just one participant I can give chance. If any participant is interested, he or she can come and draw histogram or scatter plot. If any, not ভয়ের কিছু নেই, চলে আসো, বসো, আমি শিখিয়ে দিচ্ছি। যে কেউ চলে আসো, আমি বলে দিচ্ছি, শিখিয়ে দিচ্ছি। Any participant can come. যে কেউ চলে আসো, ডোন্ট ওয়ারি, চলে আসো। অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটা ওয়ার্কশপ, তো ওয়ার্কশপে হাতে না দিলে তো হবে না জিনিসটা। কিছুটা ওয়ার্কশপের মতো করি, তুমি এতে যাও, গ্রাফে যাও, আস্তে আস্তে ওটা দিয়ে লিগেসিতে যাও। এবার তুমি স্ক্যাটার প্লটে যাও, হিস্টোগ্রামে যাও, হিস্টোগ্রাম। এখান থেকে এটা নাও, টিচার অ্যাসেসমেন্টটা নাও, লাস্টের তিনটে থেকে যে কোনো একটা নিয়ে নাও। হ্যাঁ, এখানে করে দাও, আর এটাকে এখানে করে দাও। না, এখানে করার দরকার ছিল না, ভুল হয়েছে, এখানে দরকার ছিল, এখানে এটাকে শিফট করে দাও, এটাকে এখানে মারো না, এখানে দাও, এখানে, ঠিক আছে, এখানে দিয়ে দাও। ওকে, হ্যাঁ ওকে দিয়ে দাও, এই করো। দিস ইজ এ হিস্টোগ্রাম, Now you want to plot normality, again করো, আরেকবার করো, ওই জিনিস যেটা করেছো, গ্রাফসে গিয়ে লিগেসি হিস্টোগ্রাম করো, এখানে টিক দিয়ে দাও, হিস্টোগ্রামটা নরমাল আছে কিনা, ওকে করে দাও। হিস্টোগ্রামটা নরমাল আছে কিনা একটু স্ক্রল করে দাও, হিস্টোগ্রাম ইজ নরমাল, ওকে হয়েছে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? So now it is okay, go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, if any participant want to come, last participant may come, otherwise I will continue. আমি কিন্তু দুরন্ত এক্সপ্রেস চালিয়ে দিলে তোমাদের কিন্তু লাভ হবে না, তোমাদের শিখতে যাও তাহলে আসতে হবে, নাহলে আমি হু করে চলে যেতে পারি। তুমি একটু স্ক্যাটার প্লট করো তো, বা বক্স প্লট করো, গ্রাফে চলো, বক্স প্লট করো, লিগেসি বক্স প্লটে উপরেরটা মারো, ওকে করো, ওকে করে দাও, এটা করে দাঁড়াও, দেখি, আবার ব্যাক করো, হাঁটা কেটে দাও, ঠিক আছে, আবার চলো, বক্স প্লট, এখানে এটা ঠিক করো, হ্যাঁ ঠিক করো, এটা করো, এখানে যে কোনো একটা ভ্যারিয়েবল, বক্স প্লটের জন্য তোমার কন্টিনিউয়াস ভ্যারিয়েবল না, সোশ্যাল কমিক নেওয়া যাবে না, বক্স প্লটের জন্য লাগবে কন্টিনিউয়াস ভ্যালু ডেটা, কন্টিনিউয়াস ডেটাকে দাও, তিনটে, লাস্ট তিনটা থেকে যে কোনো একটা। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, যে কোনো নিয়ে নাও, থিওরি বা টিচার অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট যেটা ইচ্ছা নাও, নিয়ে ওখানে দাও, ওকে করে দাও, স্ক্রল করে দাও, ক্লিয়ার। সো বক্স প্লট ইউ ক্যান ড্র। ওকে, ইন দিস ওয়ে তোমরা অনেকগুলো ড্রয়িং শিখলে, ঠিক আছে। ওকে, বসো। আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা, এবার সেট। নাও I am going to show the normality. How will you check normality? For checking normality and homogeneity, these are the important parameters that you have to understand before going to apply any statistical technique. So in order to check the normality, you will have to go to the analysis portion. Okay, you have to go to the analysis part. কাফি, এসো তোমাকে দেখাই। আজকে তোমাদেরকে দিয়ে করাবো, সবাইকে দিয়ে। না আমি করে দেবো ঝাঁটাঝাট? না, তুমি করো করো করো। আমি এক একজনকে ডাকবো, আমি বলবো স্টেপ, তোমরা করবে আর তোমরা শিখবে। নাহলে আমি করলে এক্সপ্লোর, হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, এটা 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 ডেসক্রিপটিভ এক্সপ্লোর। চলো, এখান থেকে তুমি কন্টিনিউয়াস ডেটা দাও, কন্টিনিউয়াস ডেটা লাস্ট অ্যাচিভমেন্ট দাও। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, যে কোনো তিনটে থেকে দাও, দিয়ে এতে যাও, প্লটে যাও, প্লটে হিস্টোগ্রাম দাও, যে নর্মালিটি দাও, দেখেছো? এবার কন্টিনিউ দাও, ওকে দাও, ঠিক আছে। এবার এই দেখো, নর্মালিটি করার জন্য এইগুলো হলো স্টেপ। এবার তুমি এটাকে কপি করে ওয়ার্ড ফাইলে পেস্ট করো, এটাকে কপি করো, এটা না, তুমি এটাকে মিনিমাইজ করো, আমি বলছি। অ্যাকচুয়ালি আজকে আমি লেকচার আজকে দেওয়ার মুডে নেই। চলো, এখানে তুমি পেস্ট করো, এটাকে উড়িয়ে দাও আগে পুরোটা। না হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, নিচে করো, আরো 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 করো, নিচে করো, হ্যাঁ নিচে করো, হ্যাঁ গুড 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 গুড। এবার এখানে তুমি অনেকগুলো ইনফরমেশন ইউ আর গেটিং। ওকে, সো from this information you have to check skewness and kurtosis, whether the data is normal or not. If the data will be normal, that means the shape will be bell shaped, so there will be no skewness. So if the value in theoretical or in ideal situation, skewness and kurtosis should be 0, but in practical situation it is quite impossible, not possible. Okay, so for practical situation, you are collecting the data. In case of your data, if value of skewness and kurtosis lies in between -2 to +2, okay, then you can say that your data is normal, your data is normally distributed. Do এবার দেখো, এখানে দেখো, এগুলো লাল করে দাও। স্কিউনেস এর ভ্যালু কত আছে? স্কিউনেস এর ভ্যালু কত আছে? 0.2, তাহলে -2 বা +2 এর অনেক নিচে, ঠিক। কার্টোসিসের ভ্যালু কত আছে? 0.54, তাহলে -1 থেকেও কম আছে, তাই না? আর এটার সাথে এটাকে ডিভাইড করো, মানে 0.205 ডিভাইডেড বাই 0.138, ওটাকে বলা হয় স্ট্যান্ডার্ড এরার, ঠিক আছে, জেড ভ্যালু বলে। এটার সাথে এটাকে ডিভাইড করো, মানে 205 কে 138 দিয়ে ভাগ করো। ইউ ডিভাইড 205 by 138, how much you are getting? 205 divided by 138, 1.48. It is also less than 1.96. Okay, so the ratio of skewness by its standard error, kurtosis by standard error should be less than ±1.96, either 1.9 +1.96 or -1.96. Then then data is normal. If the value of Z means skewness by standard error, kurtosis by standard error is in between plus minus 1.96, then the data is normal. Okay. Second property, second property. Second property, ওটা থাক তুমি ওখান থেকে কপি করে দাও, হ্যাঁ ওটা করো, কপি করো। আচ্ছা একটা জিনিস এখানে মাঝে বলে দিই, পিপিটিতে যদি আমার এই ডেটাগুলো যেটাকে কপি করছে ওয়ার্ডে, তুমি ডাইরেক্ট এসপিএস এর থেকে যেটা এই কপি করে ওয়ার্ডে ফেলছে, তো আউটসাইড ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলি আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড করবে না, না? সো ইফ আমি জানি না পার্টিসিপেন্ট আদার সাইড আছে নাকি, outside West Bengal na ache na. So if you suppose participant is copying the data directly from SPSS output to the word, if you try to copy the data and paste on the PPT, you cannot paste. তুমি দেখাও করে, data will be scattered. So how will you do? You will first copy from SPSS to word, then from word to PPT. তুমি করে দেখাও, না হলে বুঝতে পারবে না। হানি রেডি তো? আবার আমি ডাকবো, আজকে কিন্তু একদম ফ্যামিলিয়ার শেখাই হবে, মানে আমি মাইন্ড মেকআপ করেই এসেছি। ওকে, দেখেছো কি হলো? দেখেছো ডেটাটা কি হচ্ছে? ডেটাটা এলোমেলো হয়ে যাচ্ছে, ডেটাটা এলোমেলো হয়ে যাচ্ছে। কি হলো এটা? পিপিটির জন্য। আচ্ছা দেখছো ডেটাটা কি হচ্ছে? ঠিকঠাক টেবিল ফর্মে আসেনি। এবার তুমি যেটা বললাম, তাহলে আমাদের কি করতে হবে? What we have to do, what is the actual step? First we will analyze the data, we will get output in SPSS file, okay, data view output, we will have to copy output from SPSS, then paste first in the Word file, then copy from Word, then paste in the PPT. Yes, do. Otherwise your table will be distorted and your data will also be distorted. So this is the process. Dekho, this is the process. So how will you do? First you will copy from SPSS, put in the Word, then bring from SPSS, then put in the PPT. Okay, this is the process. Now এবার এটাকে একটু করো, বড় করো, বড় করো। যেটাকে পিপিটি বা যেখানে দিয়েছো এটা টেস্ট অফ নরমালিটি, ঠিক আছে, একই জিনিস, ওয়ার্ডই দেখাও বা পিপিটি দেখাও, আমার তো দেখালেই হলো, এটা দেখা যাবে না ছোট। আচ্ছা এবার ইন কেস অফ ইফ ইয়োর স্যাম্পল সাইজ ইজ লেস দেন ইকুয়াল টু 50, লেস দেন 50, if your sample size is less than 50, you should follow Shapiro. If sample size is equal or greater than 50, you should have to avoid Shapiro, you will have to follow Kolmogoro. Understood? So what is the sample size here? What is the value of n here? What is the value of n here? দেখে নাও ওখানে ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি কত ছিল। How will you check the frequency? You go to the যেটা কোনটা কার করেছো অ্যাচিভমেন্টের ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি কিভাবে দেখবে? আবার অ্যাচিভমেন্টের ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি দেখবো আমি। Achievement, you have to check the frequency. Go to analyze, go to descriptive, then frequency, then okay, then ওটাকে শিফট করো, achievement shift, okay, just okay, yes, scroll. What is the frequency? How much data is here? 310. So it is equal to or greater than 50 or less than 50? It is greater than 50 or less than 50? So which test is applicable? Chalo. Which test is applicable? Which test is applicable in this case? দেখা যাচ্ছে না না। So Kolmogoro is applicable. So this will not be tested. We will see, for checking our normality, we will see Kolmogoro. Okay. In this case, Shapiro is not valid because our sample size is greater than 50. So now significant value is how much? Significant value is how much? 0.0. Significant value, sorry, 0.023, right? 0.023. You multiply by 100. Multiplied by 100. 100 দিয়ে গুণ করে দাও। কত হলো? 2.3. It is less than 5%. So the data is significant. Data is significant. So data is not normally. If the data is significant, how much percent? 0.023, and 2.3%. So data is not normally distributed or distributed. If it is significant, not distributed. Not significant means normally distributed. So this is only one property. So you have to check majority of the property. If majority of the property will follow the normal distribution assumptions, then we can decide our data is normally distributed. Sometime out of 5 properties, one property may fail. 4 property is in favor. What will be the decision? Decision will be the data is normally distributed or not. Normally distributed. Now check another. Acha. Check another. Analyze করতে হবে না, তুমি ওখানে চলো। Analyze, হ্যাঁ, আউটপুটে চলো, এখানে চলো। এবার now see this diagram. This diagram you put in the here, double click on this. Then close. Now it looks like bell shape or not? Whether the curve, whether the histogram look like bell shape or not? So it looks like bell shape. If it looks like bell shape, you can say the data is normally distributed. So this is positive. This is positive. First one, skewness and kurtosis is also positive. 2 property is positive. Now next, QQ plot. Okay, quartile plot. Here, if most of the point lies either on the line or nearby the line, then you can say data is normally distributed. Only few points, this and upper one point is away from the line. Otherwise, most of the point lies on the line or nearby line. So you can say your data is normally distributed. So this property is also in favor, positive. Okay, positive. Now box plot. From box plot, is there any outlier, any point outside? No, there is no any point outside, and the middle line also lies in between the box. So data is symmetric. It means there is no outlier, and box plot is also appropriate where median lies in between the box and there is no outlier. It means this is also in favor of normal distribution. So we have checked many property. Out of those property, most of the property are in favor of the normal distribution. So you can come into the conclusion that your data is normally distributed. Now you can go for parametric statistics. তুমি যাও, অন্য কেউ এসো একজন। আমি করলে লাভ হবে না, তুমি এসো দেখি। জিওগ্রাফি, তুমি কোন ডিপার্টমেন্ট? তুমি এসো দেখি। আবার তোমাকে আমি ডাকছি। আমি করে কিন্তু লাভ হবে না আলটিমেটলি। তোমরা তো এটাকে খারাপ মনে করছো কি? তাহলে আমি কিন্তু গাড়ি চালিয়ে দেবো স্পিডে। অ্যাকচুয়ালি ভয়ের কিছু নেই, শিখতে হবে, উপায় নেই। সাঁতার কাটতে গেলে পানি নামতে হবে, না নামলে হবে না। আমি না হলে আমি একাই সাঁতার কাটতে শেষ হবে। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে ইউ হ্যাভ টু লার্ন সুইমিং, ইউ হ্যাভ টু অ্যানালাইজ দ্য ডেটা। ম্যাডাম, নার্সিং ম্যাডাম রেডি থাকবেন, আসতে হবে এখানে। হ্যান্ডস অন তো, এটা ওয়ার্কশপ, শিখতে হবে। আচ্ছা, গো টু অ্যানালাইজ। Here, one thing I am saying, there are 2 types of data, na? Categorical data and continuous data or numeric data. Okay, so for normality check, never choose categorical data first. You should have to choose only numeric data or continuous data. Okay, you never choose categorical or discrete data, categorical or discrete data or discontinuous data. Egulo naam. Okay, you always choose continuous data. Okay, তুমি go to যাও explore আরামসে explore. ওকে করো। এবার এখান থেকে কন্টিনিউয়াস ডেটা তুমি এখান ও নিয়েছিল কি অ্যাচিভমেন্ট নিয়েছিল, তুমি অন্য কিছু নিয়ে নাও, এনগেজমেন্ট নিয়ে নাও, ওটাকে সরিয়ে দাও, ওটা ও করেছিল তো ওটাকে এখানে সরিয়ে দাও। হ্যাঁ, তুমি এনগেজমেন্ট নিয়ে নাও। ইয়েস, এবার তুমি একটু এতে যাও, সেকেন্ডে যাও, হ্যাঁ প্লটসে যাও, এখানে হিস্টোগ্রামে করো, হিস্টোগ্রাম করা আছে, নর্মালিটিতে করে দাও, করা আছে, ওকে কন্টিনিউ করে দাও, ওকে করে দাও। এবার তুমি কপি করো এটাকে, তুমি এটাকে কপি করো, কপি করে এটাকে মিনিমাইজ করো, ওয়ার্ড ফাইল এটাকে স্ক্রল করো, দিয়ে এখানে পেস্ট করো। ইউ আর পিএইচডি স্কলার, ডোন্ট ওয়ারি, ইউ হ্যাভ টু লার্ন, ইউ হ্যাভ টু, তোমরা যদি না শেখো আজকে তাহলে কালকে তুমি স্কলারকে শেখাবে কি করে? ইউ হ্যাভ টু ডেলিভার ইউর নলেজ, ইউ হ্যাভ টু ট্রান্সফার ইউর নলেজ টু আনাদার। নাও এখানে স্কিউনেস এন্ড কার্টোসিসের ভ্যালুটা দেখো, whether it is in between less than -2, এটাকে লাল করে দাও, এই দুটো রোকে, এই দুটো লাইনকে, লাস্ট দুটো লাইনকে লাল করে দাও, পুরো রোটাকে লাল করে দাও। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, এটাকে করে দাও লাল, রেড, মেক ইট রেড। Why? We will check only skewness and kurtosis. We will check only skewness and kurtosis. Now see the value. একটু বড় করে দাও, হয়তো দূর থেকে হয়তো দেখতে পারবে না, একটু সাইজ, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, বাস বাস বাস। Now it is visible. What is the value? 0.07. It is less than 2. This is what? 0.5. It is also less than -2. So both skewness and kurtosis is in between -2 and +2. So one property is fit. Now divide this by this. 70 divided by 138. Divide করো, করতে এটা হাতে কলমে করতে হবে, কিছু করার নেই, করো। 0.507, তাহলে 0.5, তাই তো 0.5, so the value came 0.5, and that this is called Z value. Z value means skewness divided by standard error. Then kurtosis divided by standard error karo, do kurtosis divided by standard error. How much you are getting? 1.88. Again these two value, first ratio came 0.5, second ratio came 1.88. So both value are less than 1.96, less than 96. So you can say that this property is in favor of normal distribution. Your data falls under normal distribution. It satisfies the property of normal distribution. So it is positive. It is positive. বুঝলেন কি করলাম? স্কিউনেস কার্টোসিস দেখলাম, স্কিউনেস আর কার্টোসিসের ভ্যালু +-2 আর রেশিও করে this divided by this divided by this করে less in between +1.96 to -1.96. If the value of Z lies in between +1.96 to -1.96, it means your data is normal. Clear or not? ঠিক আছে, নেক্সট চলো দেখি। না ওই SPSS আউটপুটে, আউটপুট যেটা পেয়েছিলে তুমি, এটা হলো। এবার এটা দেখো, এটা কপি করো। So always copy and paste in the word file. Don't paste directly on the PPT, otherwise data will be distorted, disturbed. Now since sample size is 310, it is greater than 50, you always check Kolmogro. Don't go for Shapiro, you have to check Kolmogro. So now what is the value of significant? 0.2. Multiply by 100. Multiply by 100. How much? 20. It is less than 5% or greater than 5%? Only 5% error is allowed in education or in social science or in other than science. Okay, 5% error is allowed. So how much error is coming? 20%. So the data is not significant. This value is not significant, it means data is normally distributed. Data is normally distributed. Significant means we have considered that there is no difference. So hypothesis is rejected. Hypothesis is rejected. So this is not significant. Okay. So if not significant means data is normal. If not significant, so data is normal. So this is also positive. This is also positive. Next property, histogram. এটা তুমি এই করো, ক্লিক করো, ডাবল ক্লিক করো, ঠিক আছে? ডাবল ক্লিক করে তুমি এখানে দেখো একটা বেল শেপের হবে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, এটা উপরে এটা ক্লিক করে দাও, বাস 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 হয়ে গেছে, নিয়ে নিয়েছে, বন্ধ করে দাও। বাহ, ভালো ছেলে। এবার দেখো এটাকে কপি করে দাও, কপি করে ওয়ার্ডে ফেলে দাও। ভালো তো, হাত ভালো আছে, শিখতে হবে, শিখতে হবে, উপায় নাই। এবার দেখো দেখো, you say whether the histogram is bell shaped or not. Bell shaped or not? Bell shaped. So this histogram follow the NPC curve, property of NPC, normal property curve. It looks like NPC. So this is also, it means your data is beautifully normally distributed because it satisfies NPC. It satisfies NPC, normal probability curve. So this is also positive. First property positive, second property positive, third property also positive. Now go to QQ. QQ plot. QQ. আবার ওখানে আউটপুটে যাবে, আউটপুটে কপি এন্ড পেস্ট this one, QQ. Yes, this QQ plot means quartile plot. Quartile plot says if most of the point lies on the line or nearby the line. If it happens, then you can say data is normal. If most of the point lies away from the line, then you can say data is not normally distributed. What is your observation? Most of the point lies on the line or nearby the, only this point is away and upper 1 or 2 point is away. Okay, maximum 3 point is away. Most of the point out of 310 points, most of the points lies on the line, and so you can say data is normally, yes, this is also positive. Next chalo box plot, chalo niche, ha etake copy koro। এবার দেখো, this box plot here, median lies in the center or not? Median lies in the center, means just like a leaf, if you wrap the box plot into 2 parts, it will be equally divided. This line is equally dividing the entire things into 2 equal parts. This line is dividing the entire box into 2 equal parts, like biye baড়ির কার্ডের মতো। হ্যাঁ, ওকে, হালকা হালকা, সেটা প্র্যাকটিক্যাল সিচুয়েশন, ইন প্র্যাকটিক্যাল সিচুয়েশন if there is slight differences you can consider, because in ideal situation it will lies exactly in the middle, okay, in ideal situation, but your data is, you have collected from practical scenario. Theoretically it will lie exactly in the middle, but practically it may lies nearby the middle, okay, nearby the middle. So if the line lies nearby the middle, it means median lies in between the box plot, okay, and there is no outlier, outlier টা বোঝায় একটু, outlier টা বোধহয় বুঝতে পারেনি অডিয়েন্স, চুপচাপ আছে। তুমি একটা কাজ করো, তুমি ডেটাতে চলো। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, না এটা তো সিগনিফিকেন্ট আসেনি তো, not significant, it means data is normal, not significant হলে normal, significant হলে normal এর এগেইনস্টে যাচ্ছে, ওকে, ঠিক আছে, ওকে। সো এবার আউটলায়ার জিনিসটা কি? আউটলায়ার হচ্ছে সাম পয়েন্ট লাইজ which will exceed the range, এখানে তুমি চলো ডেটাতে চলো, এখন আউটলায়ারটা বোঝাচ্ছি। এখানে তুমি কোন ডেটা নিয়ে কাজ করছিলে? এঙ্গেজমেন্ট। দাও থাক এখন যাবে না। এঙ্গেজমেন্টে এখানে 1000 লিখে দাও এখানে 1000 ভুল করে। তুমি ডেটা কালেকশন এখানে কত ছিল ভ্যালু? কত আছে ভ্যালু? 24 এর জায়গায় তুমি লিখে দাও 240। তুমি টাইপিং এরর করছো জেনে শুনে। নেবে নিচ্ছে দিয়ে দাও 200 300 দিয়ে দাও না কিছু একটা। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, আরো এক জায়গা দিয়ে ওর পাশেটা আর একটা করে দাও, বা কোথাও একটা করে দাও, মানে ঠিক আছে, -200 বা -100 করে দাও একটা। ঠিক আছে, এবার তুমি আবার এই করো। নেবে নিচ্ছে, ঠিক আছে হচ্ছে। আচ্ছা এবার আচ্ছা এটা ঠিক আছে, এটা আমি সুগারের এটা দিয়ে করলাম। আচ্ছা এবার তুমি এতে যাও, এক্সপ্লোরে যাও, যাও ঠিক আছে, ওকে করে দাও। শুধু তোমার সব কিছু করতে হবে না, সব করে এঙ্গেজমেন্ট ঠিক আছে, তোমার করাই আছে। এবার তুমি নিচে চলো। দেখো কি হলো দুটো পয়েন্ট দেওয়ার জন্য কোথায় গেল জিনিসটা? দেখো, দিস ইজ কল্ড ডেটা অ্যানালিসিস। সামান্য দুটো মিস্টেক হয়েছে, জাস্ট টাইপিং এরার। ও আমি বাংলায় বলে দিচ্ছি, বাইরে পার্টিসিপেন্ট আবার ইংলিশ থাকতে পারে। সো জাস্ট উই হ্যাভ কমিটেড 2 error in my typing. Out of 24 I have typed 200, or out of 24 just I put 1 0 extra in typing, unintentionally, not intentionally. Due to my typing error, what is happening? Normality lost. আর কোন ভ্যালু কোথায় মিস্টেক আছে? কত নাম্বার অবজারভেশনের জন্য এই জিনিসটা হয়েছে? 15 16 বলে দিয়েছে। 15 নাম্বার আর 16 নাম্বার আপনি টাইপিং ভুল করেছেন, বা আপনার your data collection is wrong. Your respondent, the data you have collected from your respondent is not correct, it is incorrect. So you see the observation number 15 and 16. So go to the observation 15 and 16, দেখো কোথায় মিস্টেক করেছিলাম আমরা। So you have to change it. This is the beauty of SPSS, and you can say data analysis, or you can say normality. Without checking normality, if you go to the data analysis, so you will not know whether typing error is there or any other mistake is there, because you did not check because without checking normality, you can go directly, your value will be changed. You can see without the normality and with normality, you can check. So clear? Okay, now ebar jao tumi. Thank you participant for your cooperation. Now I am going to start another thing. আর কেউ কি করতে চায়? Anybody is interested? না আমি another things শুরু করি? কেউ যাবে? আচ্ছা তাহলে আসো, আসলে ভালো। হ্যাঁ, এবার ও তো করলো, একজন করলো ইন্টারেস্ট, না সরি একজন অ্যাচিভ। তুমি ইন্টারেস্ট করো, তুমি করো অ্যানালাইসিসে যাও, অ্যানালাইসিসে গিয়ে এক্সপ্লোরে যাও। হ্যাঁ ইয়েস, এক্সপ্লোরে এটাকে এখান থেকে এটাকে করো, ব্যাক করো, সরি আগে ওটাকে ব্যাক করতে হবে। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, এবার এখানে যাও, এখানে দেখো সব ঠিক দেওয়া আছে, এটা ঠিক দেওয়া আছে, এটা ঠিক দেওয়া আছে, কন্টিনিউ করে দাও, ওকে করে দাও। এবার তুমি এটাকে কপি করো, বা যদি কপি না করতে চাও, ডোন্ট ওয়েস্ট দ্য টাইম। এবার কপি কেন করতে বলছি আমি, যে কপি যদি তোমাকে পিপিটিতে কাউকে দেখাতে হয়, ইফ ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু শো দ্য থিংস ইন পিপিটি, you should first copy and paste in the word file, then from word to ppt. Don't directly copy and paste on the ppt, otherwise data will be distorted. Yes, now what is the value? You see, দেখা যাচ্ছে ছোট ছোট আছে, ওইটাই ওয়ার্ডে ধীরে ধীরে দেখা যাবে। এবার এটাকে তুমি একটু বড় করে দাও। Now you enhance the size. Now what is the value of skewness? Minus 0.006. It is less than -2. So divide. Again this is also minus 0.15516. It is also less than -2. Both are less than -2. Now divide 0.006 by 138. How much it will come? Minus 0.04. Okay, and this one? আচ্ছা, করো না এটার সাথে এটাকে ডিভাইড করো। 6 divided by 0.006 divided by, divide this by this 0.04. Okay, this one 1.86. So both value lies in between minus 1.96 to plus 1.96. Okay, plus minus 1.96. So skewness and kurtosis lies in between -2 plus 2, and ratio of skewness by standard error, kurtosis by standard error lies in between minus 1.96 to 1 plus 1.96. That's why data is normal. So this property is positive. Next property, কলম করো এটা নাও। This is very important. চলো, now you check, because your sample size is 310, so naturally you don't have to go here, you have to go here. So what is the value? 200 multiply by 100. How much percent? 20%. Error is greater than 5%. So it is not significant. It is, the value of statistics is not significant. Not significant means your hypothesis is not rejected. Sorry, hypothesis is not accepted, not rejected. Not rejected. What I am told, not rejected. Okay, I told correctly, not rejected, because what was the hypothesis? Your hypothesis was your data equally lies in the positive side, equally lies in the negative side. This was your hypothesis, but your result is saying that your hypothesis is not rejected. Not rejected is never equal to accepted. Okay, not rejected is why not equal to accepted? Because accepted means you did not test the hypothesis. When you will test the hypothesis, your technical answer will be either rejected or not rejected. A researcher, when test the hypothesis, he will either reject the hypothesis, he will not reject the hypothesis. Not reject is never equal to accept. In English language, you can say not reject is equal to accept, but in statistical language or research language, we should say when a researcher will test any hypothesis, he will either reject or not reject. So in writing, we will always write rejected, not rejected. Never we will write accepted. Okay, correct? Because testing of hypothesis means either rejection or not rejection. Okay, so here not rejected means data is in your favor, normally distributed. Okay, next, third, এটাকে click, now double click, now go to, yes, over, take, now close, copy, paste. Now see your histogram, whether bell shaped or not bell shaped. Bell shaped or not bell shaped? Bell shaped. If histogram is bell shaped, you can say the data is normally distributed. Otherwise not. So this is also positive, equally beautifully well shaped. Next property, QQ plot, copy and paste. Nowadays in USA and UK and all developed countries, reviewer and examiner they are suggesting that in data analysis chapter, researcher must give normality, testing, assumption, result. Why? You can understand the importance. You can understand the, without testing normality assumption, lots of researcher in Sodh Ganga, name is Sodh Ganga, but 90% is Asodh. Okay, so in abroad, good universities and top universities, reviewer or examiner, they are suggesting that in data analysis chapter, each and every researcher should have to give the data analysis, before data analysis result, testing of normality assumption and their result, first give whether data follow normality or not. If data do not follow normality, other testing and other applications are wrong. Okay, so for a good thesis, you may try in consultation with your supervisor, in discussion with your supervisor, you should try to consider these things, and these things is also will help you to avoid from plagiarism, because this is your original. No plagiarism, zero, no plagiarism. So you can give these things in your thesis, because there is no chance of plagiarism, because your data is totally original data. Okay, you are doing analysis of your own data, so there is no chance of plagiarism, no chance. So now here, what is interpretation? Most of the point lies on the line, and very few point, only this point and upper 2 point or 3 point lies away from the line. So out of lots of point, only few points lies away from the line, and most of the point lies on the line. It means observed value and expected value fit, well fit. It means well fit, observed and expected. This is practical, this is theoretical. Observed and expected are well matched. When observed and expected will be well matched, then you will get the points on the line or nearby the line. Otherwise, if they will not be well matched, then the point will come deviation, will deviate from the straight line, and it will go away from the normality, and it will distort the normality of the data. Okay, so the data is normally distributed from this plot. Clear? Next, ওটা একটা দেখিয়ে দাও, তোমার ছুটি হয়ে যাবে। এটা না, এটা এরপর এটা দিয়ে দাও। What about this? What about this? Symmetric or not symmetric? What about the box plot? Is there any outlier? তুমি একটা টাইপিং ভুল করে দেখাও, একটা ডেটাতে একটা ভুল করে দিয়ে দাও, 200 কিছু একটা দিয়ে দাও, জেনে কোনটা করেছিলেন? ইন্টারেস্ট। Now just you make your typing mistake, 40 জায়গায় 400 লিখে দাও, কিছু একটা দিয়ে দাও, কোন একটা দিয়ে দাও, হ্যাঁ দিয়ে দাও, বাস একটাই দাও। নাও গো, এবার প্লট করো, নাও প্লট, ইয়েস এক্সপ্লোর, ইয়েস ওকে করে দাও। চলো নিচে, আবার নিচে চলো, দেখো what happened, just for silly mistake, just he made a silly mistake, only one data typing mistake out of 310 data, just one data he typed by mistake, one entry is mistake. Due to one entry mistake, what happened? Observation number 10 created a problem, one typing error. Be sincere when you are typing your data. So Google form is never reliable. Father data is filling mother data is filling father, or mother data is filling the sister, or sister data filling brother. Who is filling whose data? Nobody can say. So IT people is never reliable on Google form, because Google form was valid only for COVID situation. Now this is not a COVID situation, so we should avoid Google form, because whether respondent is filling or researcher himself is filling, nobody knows. So data is original or not is also one of the problems. So I am not going along that side, because it's another discussion. Just I am saying here due to one silly mistake, one observation mistake, box plot came down and there is one outlier. It means if this type of case coming in your data analysis, then you will have to either omit the data, observation number 10, you have to omit or change in the range. In the range where most of the data lies. Sub value, if all values lies in between 10 to 40, and if one value is coming 400, it means it is beyond the range. All the value lies in between 10 to 40, and one value suddenly came to 400, it means something is there. Why 400 will come? It is quite exceptional. So this exceptional value should be omitted or should be changed. Either you omit it or you may change it, and you try to bring that value within the range 10 or 40 or যে রেঞ্জের মধ্যে তোমার ডেটা লাই করছে, you have to change, you have to bring the data into that range. Okay, thank you. Now এবার আসুন তো নার্সিং এর ম্যাডাম, আপনাকে এবার আমি মেডিকেল সায়েন্সেরটা নিয়ে যাই, আসুন। এবার নাও, আচ্ছা এটা মেডিকেল সায়েন্স। এবার আমরা শুরু করছি type of t-test. There are 3 types of t-test. There are 3 types of t-test. Okay, 3 types of t-test. এই ফাইলটা ক্লোজ করে দেন, নো প্রবলেম, সেভ করতে হবে না, এটা ক্যান্সেল করে দিলেও হবে, ক্লোজ করে দেন, একদম নো করে দেন, কাটেন এখান থেকে, কেটে যাবে, নো করে দেন, হবে, ডোন্ট সেভ করে দিলেও হবে, ঠিক আছে, এটা দিয়ে দেন, হয়ে যাবে, কেটে যাবে, ঠিক আছে, দিয়ে দেন, কেটে দেন, কেটে দেন, আর লাগবে না আমাদের, কেটে দেন, ডোন্ট সেভ, বাস, ডোন্ট সেভ, ঠিক আছে, এটাও কেটে দেন, ডোন্ট সেভ, এটা এই করে দেন, বন্ধ করে দেন। আমি দেখাচ্ছি, আপনাদের এটা ফিল্ডেই লাগবে, এটা নার্সিং আর টেকনোলজিতেই লাগে, এটা বন্ধ করে দেন, এই জন্য নার্সিং আপনাকে ডাকলাম। হ্যাঁ, ইয়াস, নো, ইয়াস, ঠিক আছে, বন্ধ হয়ে গেল। এবার আপনি এটাতে চলেন, আপনাকে একটা জিনিস দেখাচ্ছি, ভালো জিনিস। এবার এখানে চলুন, খুলুন, হ্যাঁ, ফোল্ডারে খুলুন, হ্যাঁ, এখানে চলুন, সিঙ্গেল স্যাম্পল, এটাতে চলুন, হ্যাঁ, ওয়ার্ড ফাইলটা খুলুন, হ্যাঁ, এটাকে করুন, দেখাচ্ছি আপনাকে একটা জিনিস দেখাচ্ছি। এবার টু ম্যাক্সিমাম দাঁড়ান, 1 মিনিট আপনি দাঁড়ান, অসুবিধা নেই তো দাঁড়াতে। Now there are 3 types of t-test. I called our senior madam because we are in the learning process, also learning, we are learning, okay. So this single sample t-test, this test is only used in case of medical science or in case of technology, or where single sample is generally used. So for single sample t-test, our assumption will be as follows, 4 assumptions. The first assumption, dependent variable must be continuous, always in any case, and observation are independent on one another, because observation from different respondent we are collecting, and dependent variable should be normally distributed, always normal distribution should be followed, continuous variable, and dependent variable should have no outlier. These things we have already done. Now you are able to understand or not? Understand. Now I want to change, this is a question, this is a study, title, a study of average body temperature of dengue patient admitted in where? NRS Medical College. Okay, you want to study the average body temperature of a dengue patient admitted in NRS Medical College. Now for this you have make this objective. What you want to do? What you want to know? You want to compare the body temperature of patient with normal body temperature. Suppose in a ward, in a particular ward, suppose 20 patients are admitted in NRS hospital. They are all suffering from dengue. Now their temperature changes from time to time, from morning to evening. Every time nurses are checking their body temperature and giving the medicine as per the instruction of the doctor, isn't it? And they are noting down. So what is the change in the temperature of the patient with respect to or in comparison to the normal temperature of the body? What is the normal temperature of human body? 98.6. 98.426 এরকম 4 5 6 এরকম, ঠিক আছে। আমি ধরে নিলাম একটা কিছু ধরলাম 98.6 ধরলাম বা 4 ধরলাম। আচ্ছা, তাহলে what we have to do, so we have to check it. So for this আপনি এটা ক্লোজ করুন। এবার আপনাকে নিয়ে যায় ডেটা, এটা আপনাদের কাজে লাগবে ফিল্ডে, ওই জন্য এটা আপনাকে আমি ডাকলাম। এই যে হ্যাঁ এটা আপনি খুলুন। This is data. Temperature of different patient. Temperature of body temperature of different patient. Okay, different patient. Now this is the temperature of different patient who are admitted in NRS hospital. Now you have to check what are the mean temperature of, what is the temperature of each patient in comparison to mane how far patient are away from the normal. You want to know, otherwise you cannot give discharge or you cannot move to ICCU. You have to move either, you have to give either discharge or you have to move either to the ICU or ICCU as per the situation. So how will you take the decision? You have to go for single sample T test. This analysis will help you to take the decision. This patient will go in ICU or will go to home. So how will you take? You go to analyze, compare mean, single sample, one sample, yes, one sample. Your transfer, yes, good. এখানে ভ্যালু কত দিবেন আপনি? আপনার যা মনে হচ্ছে নরমাল তাই দেন। উনি বললেন রুমা ম্যাডাম কত বললেন? 98.4 দিয়ে দেন, আপনি দিয়ে দেন 98.4 দিয়ে দেন, 6 দিয়ে দেন, আপনি যা আপনার মনে হচ্ছে দিয়ে দেন একটা। মানে আপনি কোন ভ্যালুর সাথে কম্পেয়ার, কেন না ধরুন আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ান কনটেক্সটে হতে পারে কোনো জায়গা 98.6 করলেন, ঠিক আছে, ওকে করে দেন। এবার দেখেন আপনার এই ভ্যালু এসছে, ঠিক আছে। এবার এটাকে আপনি কপি করেন। এখানে হচ্ছে দিস ইজ দ্য, এটা হলো আপনার স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্স। এখানে কতজন পেশেন্ট ছিল? 30। তার মিন কত এলো? এত, ঠিক আছে। আপনি ভ্যালু কত দিয়েছেন? স্ট্যান্ডার্ড ভ্যালু, ঠিক আছে। এবার স্ট্যান্ডার্ড ভ্যালু এটা কি রিজেক্ট হলো? হাইপোথেসিস রিজেক্ট হলো, সিগনিফিকেন্ট চলে এলো, ভ্যালুটা কত হয়ে গেল? 0। It is, if you multiply this value into 100, error will be what? 0. Your hypothesis is completely rejected. Because less than 5%. Hypothesis is rejected. So you can say, now you can come to the decision that how many patients are lies in between 98 point mean value. Your mean value is how much? 99 point. And this is how much? 98.6. So you can take the decision যাদের ভ্যালু nearby 98.6. okay, so ward is running in approximately appropriate manner because 98.6 is the expected and observed value is just not very far. If it becomes 102, most of the patient will go to ICU. If it comes to 98.7, 98.6, most of the patient maybe go to home to take the decision. ক্লিয়ার হলো? যদি এই ভ্যালুটা যদি 100-র উপরে চলে আসতো তাহলে কি করতো? আইসিইউ। আর যদি এটা সবটা যেহেতু আমার যেটা এক্সপেক্টেড তার কাছাকাছি আছে, তাহলে এবার আমি দেখে নেবো যারা একদমই কাছাকাছি তাদেরকে বাড়ি পাঠিয়ে দেবো, যাদের একটু ডেভিয়েটেড আছে তাদেরকে রেখে দেবো, থাকুন দুদিন আমার থাকুন। বুঝলেন? ভালো তো? ভালো তো? ঠিক আছে। কোনটা? আচ্ছা খুলে দেন ম্যাডাম। এবার আজকে সব আপনারাই করবেন, আমি শুধু বলবো। আর দেখুন দেখিয়ে দেন। ফার্স্ট পেজে খুলেন, আরামসে খুলেন, তারা নিশ্চয় দেখান।
There is no significant difference between the mean score of the body temperature. No significant difference.
তাহলে যে সিগনিফিকেন্ট ডিফারেন্স কি আসেনি? সিগনিফিকেন্ট ডিফারেন্স এটা এসছে, হাইপোথিসিসটা রিজেক্ট হয়েছে। এবার এর ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন যদি লিখতে হয় পেপার প্রিন্ট করার জন্য, তাহলে এরকম ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন লিখতে হয়, এরকম ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন লিখতে হয় পেপার পাবলিশ করার জন্য, এরকম পেপার পাবলিশ করার জন্য এরকম ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন লিখতে হয়। এটা নিলে তো আমার 1 মাস লেগে যাবে। এইভাবে পেপার পাবলিশ করার জন্য ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন লিখতে হয় টেবিল করে, ঠিক আছে? ওদিকে আমি যাচ্ছি না, নাহলে আবার 1 মাস লেগে যাবে একটাই বলতে। তো এইভাবে লিখতে হয়, এইভাবে টেবিল ওই যে ডেটাগুলো যেটা এলো একটু আগে, এটা আমরা এইভাবে নেব আর এইভাবে এটাকে ইন্টারপ্রিটেশন লিখে দেবো, তাহলে পেপারের কাজ শেষ। Now you can communicate into the paper, you can publish. This is the interpretation part of your paper. Okay, you have to do this thing. This is the standard way. তো ওটা জানলে এটা করা যাবে, কিন্তু আপনার ওইটা না জানা থাকলে এটা করা যাবে না, ঠিক আছে? কেননা these things when you will read the paper, you will understand the norms of writing the interpretation. But if you do not understand the data analysis procedure, you will not come to the table. So table is important, your value is important. I think when you will read the paper, download the paper, way of interpretation you can understand from the paper, but value is very important because your value is original. You will have to come into the decision. Okay, ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে। এবার উষা ম্যাডাম আপনি কিছু করবেন না? আপনি suppose you are a doctor, you are giving exercise to the, suppose you went to the DPS school in Kolkata, where all maximum children are coming from well-to-do family. Suppose you visited in class 6, okay, out of 50 students you observe that 20 students weight are overweight, 20 students weight are overweight. Now you are from medical background, so you are giving some exercise for 1 month or yoga for 2 months, 1 month, 15 days, as you like, how much you can give. So initially you collected their pre-weight and you prescribed some yoga to all 20 students for 1 month, and after 1 month again you raised their post weight. Okay, then you are observing whether your yoga is effective or not effective. Okay, this is also beneficial for your field, so you come and do. আমি কথা লাভ নেই, the situation, because close it. হ্যাঁ, ক্লোজ করে দেন, আমি আপনাকে দেখাচ্ছি ওটা। মানে এটা আপনি বন্ধ করে দেন, বন্ধ করে দেন, একদম বন্ধ করে দেন, এটা বন্ধ করে দেন। You are not feeling bored না? Able to understand what I am doing? আচ্ছা, এটা বন্ধ করে দেন। Yes, এবার এতে চলেন, এটাতে চলেন, হ্যাঁ ইনফারেন্সিয়ালি চলেন, এটাতেই চলেন, টি টেস্টে চলেন, পেয়ার্ড স্যাম্পলে চলেন, মিডলে, হ্যাঁ মিডলে আপনি ওপেন করেন পেয়ার্ড। এবার এখানে আপনি আগে এতে চলেন, এতে আপনি এতে চলেন, মানে আপনার ওয়ার্ড ফাইলে চলেন। কিছু বেসিক জিনিস বলে দিই। এবার বেসিক হলো পেয়ার্ড স্যাম্পল টি টেস্ট কেন লাগে। এখানে these are the assumptions. Okay, these are the assumptions. I have taken an example from education side. Madam will do her problem from medical side. Data should be normally distributed. Data must be either on interval scale or ratio scale. Data must have correlation between pre-value and post-value. There should not be any outlier. These things I think you have already understood from our previous discussion. Now, suppose ETV program is going during COVID situation or post-COVID situation, and you have first taught student through without ETV program. Okay, initially you take a pre-test and you noted down their achievement, and then you showed an ETV program for 15 days. All students observed ETV program for 15 days, and after 15 days you take a test, that's a post test. Okay, now you are checking whether the ETV program is effective for learning or not learning. Okay, so in that case you can apply. If you have to, actually what I am saying, if you have to apply a T test on the same group, there is single group. Okay, for postgraduate study there is a research design that is called single group pre-test post-test single group design, pre-test post-test single group design. For master degree it is good, but not good for PhD, not good for, oh I am not discussing about the research design, but so in for master degree student it is good, it is appropriate. Now madam will do so here exam, here there is a problem, madam will take a problem from medical side. She visited a school, she observed 20 students having overweight, she gave yoga and student will perform yoga for 1 month, and after 1 month again madam will visit, again post weight, then she will check that whether yoga is effective or not. Okay, so directly you do not have any data, you open SPSS, this is SPSS logo, open and you do the things. আচ্ছা আমি একবার ওটা স্যাম্পলটা দেখিয়ে দেবো, তাহলে আপনি বুঝতে পারবেন। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, তাহলে এটাকে আপনি ক্যান্সেল করে দেন, ওখানে করে দিলেও হবে, ঠিক আছে, যেটা আমার ডেটা ছিল করে দেন, এটা বন্ধ করে দেন, তাড়াতাড়ি হয়ে যাবে। ইয়েস করেন, হ্যাঁ ওখানে চলেন, গো টু SPSS, go to there, inferential, then T, then paired, open, then go to Excel file, SPSS file. This is open top one. Result, no need of result. Directly you have to go data, because without data you cannot understand, na. Suppose this is a pre and post. Just you understand. Suppose this is a pre-weight and this is a post-weight. You assume. Okay. Now you go to analyze.
1 month yoga hoche.
1 month. This is your pre-reading. This is your post-reading. Now you go to analyze. And you may do one thing here. If you want to change weight, then you can change weight. Here I have written achievement. Okay. Then compare mean. Then paired sample. Compare mean, paired. না নিচে paired. এবার আপনি শিফট করুন, হ্যাঁ আবার একটা করে দেন, নিচেটা করে দেন, নিচেটা, হ্যাঁ গুড, দেন হ্যাঁ এবার ওকে করে দেন, আর কিছু করতে হবে, ওকে এবার হয়ে গেল। এবার আপনি এটাকে কপি করে ওয়ার্ডে যদি পেস্ট করতে চান পেস্ট করুন, যদি দেখতে পারে ওরা দূর থেকে তা না করলেও হবে। দেখুন what happened here, mean value you are observing, what is the mean value of pre 13, post 19, it means this is achievement data, means ETV program is effective. Here ETV program is effective in your case. If your yoga will be effective, post value will be reduced
by কম,
yes
definitely. ওয়েট কমেছে,
okay. If your yoga will be effective, your post will be less than pre. In case
13 থেকে কম হতে হবে,
10 হতে পারে, 11 হতে পারে, 12 হতে পারে। If yoga will be very effective, weight will be more reduced. If yoga will be less effective, weight will be less reduced. Or suppose you have instructed the student, some student will follow, some student will not follow. So how will you understand? If all students will follow your guideline exactly, then I think your data will be effective. Okay, so what I want to say, if your post value is better in case of achievement in comparison to the pre, it means your ETV program is good. Now, when you will compare mean, first you have to check significant level. Whether data is significant or not. Last column. How much? 0. So hypothesis is rejected. There is no significant difference, but difference চলে এসেছে, তার মানে রিজেক্ট হয়ে গেছে। আমি কি ধরেছিলাম? There is no significant difference, but difference is coming, so hypothesis is rejected. Understood? This is the beauty of SPSS of paired sample t-test. When you are working on a single group and you are giving the intervention post, then you will have to apply paired t-test. That is what is called pair, because same group. Okay, তাহলে এটা ক্লিয়ার? আপনি যদি প্রি পোস্ট করতে চান তো করতে পারেন, না হলে আপনি বাড়িতে করবেন। ভালো, বোঝা গেছে? ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। নাও আনাদার স্টুডেন্ট, হয়ে গেছে? লাস্ট একটা ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট করে দিই, একটা কেউ, হ্যাঁ একটা করে দাও। আছে কে করবে বলো? একজন এসে বাস 5 মিনিট আর নেব, দিয়ে আমি টিটা কমপ্লিট করে দিচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ, পরে আবার দেখা যাবে। হ্যাঁ, কে আসবে বলো? চলে আসতে পারো, এনিবডি, এসো এসো এসো, তাড়াতাড়ি এসো, করে দিই, এসো করে দিই, এসো। আমি তো দৌড়ে দিতে কবে শেষ করে দিতাম, আমি তো আজকে ভাবলাম যে একটু শিখিয়ে দিই, তোমরা কালকে যেভাবে বলেছো আমি ভাবলাম ঠিক আছে তাহলে একটু আমি শেয়ার করে দিই ভালোভাবে। স্টুডেন্টরা বন্ধ করো। কবে শেষ করে দিতাম। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, ক্যান্সেলই করে দাও, এটা বন্ধ করে দাও, ইয়াস করে দাও, বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে। নো করে দাও, নো, ব্যাস। না 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 না, সেটা করতে হবে। এবার তুমি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টে চলো, ওখানে ক্লিক করো। হ্যাঁ এখানে ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট, না এখানে নেই মনে হয়, এখানে আলাদা আছে, ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট করো, ডেটাতে চলো। ঠিক আছে। What is the difference? In independent sample test, there will be two different group. There will be two different group, or there will be, if group, there will be two different either gender, male, female, or urban, rural, will be like this. So how will you do here? Just you go to the data, dataতে যাও, কি আছে এখানে? হ্যাঁ, analyze যাও, compare mean, independent, independent, yes. এবার এখানে তুমি ভ্যারিয়েবলে এটা দেবে যেটা কন্টিনিউয়াস ভ্যারিয়েবল, যেটা কন্টিনিউয়াস ভ্যারিয়েবল। হ্যাঁ আছে আছে আছে, ইংলিশ রিডিং কম্প্রিহেনশন হচ্ছে কন্টিনিউয়াস, আর জেন্ডার ডিসকন্টিনিউয়াস। ইয়েস, এখানে জেন্ডারে কারা আছে, মেল আর ফিমেল আছে, দুটো গ্রুপ আছে। তাহলে এতে যাও, 1 2 করে দাও, মানে 1 হচ্ছে মেল, 2 হচ্ছে ফিমেল, বাস 1 2 লিখে দাও, দিয়ে কন্টিনিউ করে ওকে করে দাও, হয়ে যাবে। আসবে আসবে, ও আসবে।
করা আছে তো লেভেলিং, না এখানে তো লেভেলিং করা আছে তো,
করা আছে,
মেল করা আছে,
করো অ্যানালাইসিস।
এখানে আসছে না কেন?
না না, আসবে 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 আসবে, না আসা কিছু, অ্যানালাইসিস যাও, কম্পেয়ার মি ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট, ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট, ইয়েস, দিয়ে এখানে শিফট করো রিডিং। হ্যাঁ, জেন্ডার এখানে দাও, না না 1 2 করে দাও এখানে।
না, নাম্বার লগের সাথে টেক্সট কেন রাখা হবে? ও মনে হয়
1 আর 2 দিয়ে দাও না, 1 এখানে 1 এখানে 2,
ঠিক আছে,
এখানে 1 এখানে 2 দিয়ে দাও। চলো কন্টিনিউ করো, এই তো নিয়ে নিয়েছি, অসুবিধা নেই। ওকে ওকে ওকে, এবার দেখো দেখো ডেটাটা আগে দেখতে হবে আমাদের সিগনিফিকেন্ট। ফার্স্ট we shall have to check significant. So there are two part. One interesting thing came. This is a living statistics and this is a mean statistics. There are two part. This part is living and this part is mean statistics. Two information. So from living statistics, whether the homogeneity of variances are valid or not. So for homogeneity of variances, you can check this significance. If this is not significant, means equality of variances assumed, means your data is homogeneous. Why homogeneous? Means if in a sample, suppose out of 100 student, 5 male, 95 female, it is homogeneous. Can you say? Can you make the difference between difference between gender in your sample? Suppose 10 female, 90 male. It is not homogeneous. If in your sample there are 45 male, then 55 female, okay. There should be a consistency, na? Homogeneity. Otherwise you cannot. If there are 5 female and 95 male, homogeneity is not there. So you have to carry it. So that's why homogeneity you have to check. So to check the homogeneity, Levin's statistics will help you. Your data is homogeneous because this is insignificant, not significant. So homogeneity of variances are valid. Okay, no problem. Now it means equality of means. Now go to the significant level. What is this? How much? Multiply into 100. Multiply into 100. 0.5. 0.5. Less than 5%. So hypothesis is rejected. Hypothesis is When hypothesis will be rejected, then you will compare mean. If not rejected, no need to compare. If it is rejected, then compare. Now compare, which is better? Male better or female better? So female is better than male. Female is better than male. Okay, thank you. Any question? আজকে আমি বলে দিলাম এটা পুরোটা ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে এনি কোশ্চেন ফ্রম অডিয়েন্স সাইড এনি কেউ যদি for homogeneity of variances you have to check sigma means standard deviation okay sigma of group one group and sigma of another group should be almost parallel, not equal. Practically it should be equal, but theoretically it is allowed. Almost you can take maximum less than 2 means not exactly twice, but just near about sigma 2 by sigma 1 is less than equal to 2. Sigma 2 by sigma 1 is sigma 2 by sigma 1 or sigma 1 by sigma 2 should be less than 2. Okay, ratio. One group and another group, they must be homogeneous. Suppose you have taken one group suppose you have taken male from very high locality and female from very low locality. Data will be what? Not homogeneous. So you will have to choose same school, same university, same college, from where you will take male and female. You are taking female from St. Xavier's, male from Sundaranath College. What will happen? Male from Sundaranath College, female from St. Xavier's. What will happen? Yes, problem will be there. That's why homogeneity should be there, and in order to maintain the homogeneity, you should have to take care the group which you are selected as a sample should be from the same place to maintain the homogeneity. Isn't it clear?
The number of sample, like distribution of male female or the two other urban or rural, there should be homogeneity.
It would be better. Otherwise, suppose you are in a school, suppose 5 female, 95 male.
Yes.
How will you make the difference? And difference will be reliable. Can you generalize the data? Can you generalize your result on the population?
No.
So this will be your action research. Action research finding cannot be generalized on a huge population. If your research is action, no problem, because you are not going to generalize your result. But if your research is experimental survey, you will have to generalize your result over a population. You must take care about the population that should be homogeneous. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
বন্ধ করে দাও চলো any question any query বলুন কিছু আরো কিছু জিজ্ঞেস করার থাকলে বলো
Any further questions?
any question any query
None? Okay, then we are closing the session. Thank you, sir, for clearing all the doubts.
question বলুন তাহলে ও ছবি আচ্ছা তাহলে ঠিক আছে চলো
Okay, so we will be going for the
ওখানে আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে থাক ও আচ্ছা তাই তব করে দিতে পারতেন তখনই করেন
Okay, so we will have the lunch break now, and then we will be resuming for the next session.
আপনি করুন কিছু করুন করুন আপনি কিছু করুন